Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the Spanish Grand Prix race watch-along. It's Spain, action and drama guaranteed. Maybe not. Hopefully, fingers crossed we're going to get a good one today. I'm not going to make any predictions on that front though. We know what Spain tends to be like, but We are all F1 fans, and we will sit here for the afternoon and natter about it, even if it ends up being as dull as many are predicting. Don't worry, something will happen. We'll focus on that midfield if we have to. I'm going to kick this off with one disclaimer, and I'm only doing this once. I don't want to do it 7,000 times again. This is a race watch-along. We watch it together. You watch it on your TV, I watch it on mine, and we chat about it as we go along, kind of like a community thing. There is no race footage in this stream for obvious copyright reasons, and that's kind of that. We will have live timing data from Planet F1, but with a new look to it, thanks to Francois over at cooltiming.com. So thank you very much to him. We've been working on this, or he's been working on it, and we've been sort of practicing with it over the last week. So hopefully it'll look really, really awesome, and you'll enjoy that. A little bit clearer on mobiles as well. So hopefully the Planet F1 issues are sorted from yesterday as well. I've spoken to them this morning and they say all seems to be working okay, so fingers crossed we'll have a good one, and hopefully FOM will leave me alone as well. Let's see if we have a good Sunday. Why not? But we're going to start, as we always do in these streams, of course, by having a look at yesterday's qualifying results. This is not the final grid. I'll explain why in a moment. If you don't like Mercedes, I'm afraid it will still be a Mercedes front row. Valtteri Bottas still, what a lap yesterday. I can't get over that. A 1:15.4. I know Hamilton had issues, but wow, what a lap. His teammate is alongside him on the front row, all Mercedes. Matteo Binotto before the race does not sound confident, by the way, of Ferrari's chances, and I don't think Vettel is either. But he does start third. Sebastian Vettel, so if we can get a good start and get him in sort of in a mix with those Mercedes, it might change things a little bit. Max Verstappen fourth, Charles Leclerc fifth, and Pierre Gasly sixth. The two Haas boys, good qualify for them. Grosjean seventh, Magnussen eighth. Can Grosjean get past turn 3 this year? That's going to be a prediction we need to make. Danny Kvyat is ninth. Daniel Ricciardo qualified 10th, but will take a grid drop for reversing into Daniel Kvyat in Baku. Lando Norris 11th. He gets promoted, as does Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Kimi Raikkonen qualified 14th, and I believe will start 14th, as will Sergio Perez in 15th. Nico Hülkenberg will be dropping to the pit lane. More on that in just a moment. He was 16th yesterday. Lance Stroll 17th. Antonio Giovinazzi got a grid drop, but I believe starts exactly where he qualified because it's Formula 1 and we all love the penalty system. George Russell 19th and Kubica in 20th. But like I say, a couple of things changing in that result. I will get my my wonderful FIA press releases and all that up to have a quick look at. But Nico Hülkenberg, if you didn't catch qualifying yesterday, he crashed into the barrier and damaged his front wing. That resulted in him needing a new front wing main plane, I think is what he needed. Unfortunately, they didn't have an up-to-date new spec one, so they had to put an old spec on, which means he's in breach of part firme, and so has to start from the pit lane. Interestingly enough, though, they decided to put a whole new power unit in that Renault, get a new one in the pool, which makes sense, I suppose, given that he's going to be starting from the pit lane anyway. And the penalty decision from the FIA on that one reads that he will have to start from the back of the grid. I love the way the penalties are worded. He will be starting from the pit lane, so ignore the last press release that came out if you've seen it from the stewards. He is starting from the pit lane. Antonio Giovinazzi had to take a gearbox change. He's going to be getting a 5-place grid drop, but still starts 18th, I believe. I keep saying I believe because I've got conflicting information. GP today are saying he'll start in... GP today saying he starts in 18th. Race fans are saying 19th, and the F1 website hasn't updated yet. So he's somewhere in there, but I believe that it will be Russell 18th and Giovinazzi 19th because Russell took his penalty first. I might be wrong, but we'll see on that one. It all means, though, that Robert Kubica gets to start from 17th on the grid. So a Williams not on the back row. That'll be awesome. Awesome for them. Awesome. But yes, lots of penalties to talk about this morning. And apparently just before I went live, Lewis Hamilton was unhappy with Sebastian Vettel's pit lane procedure as they were leaving. A few burnouts, and I don't think he was very happy about that. Complained over team radio. I doubt there'll be any action taken. You never know, though, with the FA. You know what they're like with consistency? You never know. So, yes, Valtteri Bottas starting on pole position. Mercedes overwhelming favourites to take a 5th consecutive 1-2 today. But can Ferrari get into that mix? Sebastian Vettel, obviously, their best hope at the moment from 3rd on the grid. Charles Leclerc down in 5th place. I've got... If we're going to play this from a neutral perspective, so let's all just be neutral for a second. Forget who you're a fan of as a driver. Let's stay neutral for just a second. We need Sebastian Vettel to get ahead of one of those Mercedes if we're going to get a race with a bit of action towards the sharp end of the grid. Otherwise, I'm fully expecting Mercedes to disappear. Even if if Sebastian Vettel gets past the Mercedes, can breeze past on the straight, but that Ferrari should be quite slippery in a straight line because of the aggressive setup they've gone with. So it could be tricky for whichever Mercedes he may jump to get past on the straight. The problem for Ferrari is that they're actually going to be looking over their shoulder because Red Bull's race pace on Friday was pretty solid. And Max Verstappen, who was, I said in the qualifying report, quite disappointed after the session yesterday. I was really surprised how disappointed he was. He felt like that gap to Mercedes is huge and it's bigger than they were expecting. But I think to split the Ferraris, okay, Leclerc had damage on his car, but to split the Ferraris and give himself a shot at a podium, I don't think he should be too disappointed. And this is Red Bull's first season with Honda. So, there's going to be a lot of development still to come. So we'll see. But I think Verstappen's got a shot at a podium, and Ferrari are going to have to really fight them off. The problem for Red Bull, of course, is they're probably going to have to do it off the line because I can't see, even with DRS, that Red Bull breezing past that Ferrari in a straight line, especially with that as setup I was talking about earlier. So I'm chittering to you, but I'm watching the grid as it scrolls along on the bottom of the Sky screen to see where Giovinazzi's starting. I think it will be 19th. No, they've got him down as 18th as well. So I thought the grid was defined by who took their penalty first, and Russell took his yesterday and Giovinazzi today or last night. So I thought Russell would have started higher. I'll keep an eye on it, but at the moment it doesn't look like it's 18th place. Thank you very much, as always, to Andras for your contribution, mate. It says realistic best and worst case scenario for the Grand Prix. We'll do that in a bit when we do predictions, but I'll try and remember to come back to that one. Strategy is often key in Spain, and I've been having a look at Pirelli's website and whatnot this morning. Interesting stuff. The quickest route around Spain is actually a two-stopper apparently this year, with 22 laps on the soft tyres and then a stint of 23 on the soft tyres again, and then the mediums to the end. But the one-stopper is the second quickest, and you can probably guess that is going to be soft and then straight to hard. Sorry, I'm hoping that we're going to see a couple of stops, because even if the Mercs disappear, a couple of stops could mix up that midfield quite nicely and make things a bit more interesting in there. Otherwise, it's just going to be a dull one-stopper. It was one-stopper last year that won the race. Ferrari, of course, tried the two-stopper under the virtual safety car, but I'm hoping for two stops today at the very least. And there is another option for a one-stopper, which is the medium, which I would not imagine. I'd not imagine many will start on that. Maybe further back, perhaps Hulkenberg. I think it's worth a gamble for him. He might even start on the hards. That's a point. Yeah, Hulkenberg might start on the hards, but I think the one-stopper is medium to hard, a really long run, 30 laps and then 36 laps to the end. Jack saying there, Ferrari on a two-stop, fresh medium tyres available. They've got Mercedes have one set, most of the grid have one set available of the mediums, new fresh sets, but then you've got Kvyat and Albon, Russell and Kubica, and Vettel and Leclerc, all with an extra set of mediums that are fresh available. Towards the sharp end of the grid, just having a quick look through, the only driver with a fresh set of softs in that top six is Max Verstappen. Oh, you just know they're going on at some point, don't you, towards the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, keep an eye on Max Verstappen later on. But I definitely feel like we're going to get a couple of stops from behind the Mercedes. But I'm going to be pessimistic. I fully expect if they get into turn 1, 1, 2, they're just going to disappear, control the race pace, look after the tyres, one stop it, and then that'll be that. What can you say? Yes, a couple of people just joining us for the stream. Just to let you know, once again, very quickly, Hulkenberg starting from the pit lane, needed a new front wing, which was old spec, unfortunately, so he's obviously breached part firme, has to start from the pit lane. Giovinazzi's got a grid drop for a new gearbox, as has George Russell, and they're 18th and 19th, but I don't know in which order because it's, conflicting. SR6872 says mandatory two stops for 2020. I don't like the idea of the mandatory two stops. I mean, it would make it more interesting, I'm sure, but then people are still gonna stretch them out when they need to, and you're still going to need tyres that degrade quickly to make that interesting. I just make tyres like not too far, like we had 2012 area, 2013, that kind of thing, where they went off really dramatically towards the end of their tyre life. I don't want them to go quite as far where we're seeing 4, 5, 6 stops a race or anything stupid like that, but make it a two-stopper but marginal, so that you're right on the edge of a two-stopper and a three-stopper. I think that would make it interesting. National anthems in Spain, I assume there's 2, which will probably get a lot of press stick later on, but we'll do some predictions, and I'll take some of your questions as well as we build up. Race gets going at about 2:10 UK time, so about 15 minutes from now. So we'll start off, bearing in mind that it keeps scrolling on the screen, I haven't been looking, but bearing in mind Mercedes have won every year here since 2014, except in 2016, of course, because Max Verstappen won that after something happened at turn 4 between the two Mercedes. Toto Wolff, by the way, Toto Wolff, saying I think basically saying he's bearing it in mind. What happened in 2016 could happen again this year, but I'm not expecting that. I know there'll be people out there that really want to see the Mercedes crash in turn 4 again. I know there will be, but I think the respect between Hamilton and Bottas is still in the right place. Rosberg and Hamilton, that just fell away so quickly, and I'm not saying they didn't respect each other, but the rivalry was bigger and there was a lot more dislike there between them. But it seems a lot more harmonious between Hamilton and Bottas. We saw that in Baku, so I'm not expecting a crash up there between them. But you never know. You never know. F2 race, we saw a crash at turn 1. F3 race rather this morning. F2 race had a few moments in it. So yeah, we might get some good stuff, I'm hoping. But who are you predicting for the win and what is your podium? I'm going to stick with what I said on Thursday. I don't think anything's changed there. Mercedes to take the win, but I'm going to go with Hamilton, as I said in the preview and predictions on Thursday. Like I said, I'm not going to go changing my predictions now. It's all kind of going the way I expected at the moment, although I just think Hamilton will be on pole, so there you go. But I think Hamilton will win it. I was optimistic that we'd see Vettel between the two Mercedes when I did my predictions on Thursday, but I'm not quite so sure now. Do you know what? Mercedes 1-2, Hamilton Bottas, and then we'll go with Verstappen on the podium. Why not? Because at least then we've had some action behind, unless it all happens in turn 1, of course. But yeah, we'll get some of your predictions. I'll get the right chat open and then I can actually do it. It would help, Sean. CMDR says Max for the win. Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel. Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen. So somebody agreeing with me there. Bottas, Hamilton, Leclerc says Ace Ray. Leclerc for the win. That'd be 5th on the grid. That'd be a big ask, wouldn't it? Maldonado will come and take everyone out, says the little penguin. I still can't get over that stat from yesterday that I've sort of banged on about all weekend. He's the last non-Mercedes driver on pole, although I know people were calling me out saying, well, technically, Lewis Hamilton got pole in 2012 but was stripped of it. But number one, Maldonado got the pole because Hamilton was stripped of it. And number two, even if you look at it that way, it was still a Mercedes-powered car. So let's stick with the Grosjean, not the Grosjean stat, the Maldonado stats. Bottas, Vettel, Verstappen, Hamilton, Vettel, Leclerc. What happens to Bottas? Ooh. Grosjean for the wall. Oh, don't. I've got Dan on the race reaction stream with me later. We need a good race for Grosjean so that he'll be happy. We don't want Dan to be miserable this afternoon. Dan's usually quite positive, so we need to be happy. Kubica is going to win. I'm not sure what you're drinking, but if you want to send it my way, that'd be great. Hopefully another Spain 2016. Hamilton was at McLaren in 2012, though. He was, but it was a Mercedes-powered car. Kubica scores points. Or Albon in the point. I think Albon's got a shot at points. Mirko. I do. I think Albon, Norris and Sainz are going to be where you're looking at for that end of the point. I'm hoping Fiat can get home in 9th. I think that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant for him. But I also kind of want to see Hulkenberg come back to the points. Pit lane to points just is a really nice. It just rolls off the tongue so nicely. Had it with Albon in China and Raikkonen again in Baku. So pit lane to points. It just sounds great. So that would be cool. A lot of you already giving some stick to Grosjean. Oh, be nice. Be nice. We've got Dan later. We don't want to upset Dan. We want Dan to be upset. Of course we don't. Just keeping an eye on things. They're talking about last year's Spanish Grand Prix and or on screen, sort of putting stats up about last year. Of course, it was turn 3 where Grosjean had that spin and took out Hulkenberg and was it Gasly? Hulkenberg and Gasly? So I think Hulkenberg's pretty safe going into turn 1. He's going to be behind everybody, but I'm not. We'll see in turn 1. They've been pretty well behaved, to be fair, this year in turn 1. I remember talking pre-season with Jonty quite a bit about Australia and expecting just to see with these wider front wings, debris everywhere through turn 1 and 2. And they've been pretty well behaved. And actually, we've not seen, he says, 24 hours after Nico Hulkenberg broke his front wing, we've not seen that much in the way of front wing damage. I thought they were going to be knocking bits off left, right and centre for the first few races, but they've been pretty good on the first few laps. So hopefully, we'll get a nice clean start. But then there's the other side of me that really wants to see a bit of drama, because I've got a horrible feeling people are going to be switching off at 3 o'clock to go and watch the Premier League title deciders if the race is boring. But I think most F1 fans are going to stick around and watch the race, whatever. There are some that won't. But yeah. Race begins in 10, ? Says Melissa. Yes, 10 minutes from now. We'll head over to the Watchalong screen just as they start the formation lap. And then we'll sort of natter through that, and I'll read whatever pops up on screen. On Sky, you've got them all on the grid at the moment. Is everyone watching F1 TV? Have we got F1 TV working today? That was the other thing I wanted to check. I know there were some issues again yesterday in qualifying for some regions. Hopefully, it's all going to be sorted today. I felt for so many people after Baku. You know, people paying money and it just not working. So, yeah. Gutting. What did you bet, says MT Records. F1 TV is working. Good news. I haven't bet anything. I don't bet on Formula 1 because there's just no point. Because my predictions are terrible. But yes. Grosjean will get a podium and won't crash at turn 3 is my prediction, says Daniel Philpotts. 7th. It's the race for Haas. This is the problem. Qualifying, spot on. They've been pretty solid in qualifying all season so far, but for whatever reason, they can't get their tyres to work on a Sunday. Obviously, points are awarded on a Sunday. That's where they need it to be happening. So I can't help but feel like Haas, they've got to get some points on the board this weekend. I know they had a really good start in Australia. They've picked up odd points here and there, but I still feel like on raw pace, they're probably best of the rest, but they just can't switch it on a Sunday. And that's got to be frustrating. And again, I said this yesterday, look how costly the end of last season was after you look back. Disqualification in the US, disqualification in Monza, the wheel bearer or the wheel nut issues in Australia. How costly was that to them last year? They could have been 4th if all of that had gone the other way. So I do feel for them. And thank you very much for subscribing, Nick. I won't be able to give everyone a shout out because I'll be watching the TV in a minute, but thank you for subscribing. If you are new, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It's quiet in May for YouTube. Everyone off on uni and whatnot and exams, so which is fair enough. So every subscription, as always, massively appreciated. And don't forget to drop the video a like as well. As I keep saying, these get a lot of hate because people don't understand that it's not that sort of criticism. People don't understand that what a watch-along is and that it doesn't contain race footage. So if you could drop a like, that would be awesome. It only takes a second and helps the channel out massively. And of course, is massively appreciated as well. But yeah, I'm hoping Haas can do well today. Another team I want to see do really well today are McLaren. They've had a very good start to the season, but they've been a little bit off it so far this weekend. But then, having said that, Norris starts 10th and Sainz 12th, so they're on for points today, potentially. I'd like to see them deliver today. We've seen Spain historically as a track that will expose a bad car, and McLaren have had issues here in previous years. Of course, they've picked points as well up, but they've had issues in previous years. So it'd be nice to see them have a good result here, because then at least we can say, actually, yeah, that McLaren is a good car this year. So that'd be pretty good to see. Just looking at the official timing now, it is confirmed Giovinazzi will be 18th. So it is 18th for Giovinazzi and 19th for Russell. So ignore that thing scrolling along the bottom. Although I think, is that in the right order? I don't know. That was a little bit more high-pitched than it needed to be. But yeah, it's in the wrong order. So it is Giovinazzi 18th and Russell in 19th. But I'll not change it now, so we'll be leaving this screen shortly. But yeah, Hülkenberg is starting in the pits, not from the back of the grid, as his second press release said. And I backed Kimi Räikkönen for my one to watch yesterday after qualifying. I've just got a feeling if anybody can make their way up in Spain from 14th and on the grid, it is Kimi Räikkönen. It is Kimi Räikkönen. He was points in Australia, points in Bahrain, China, and Baku. He's the only driver outside of the top 3 teams to score at every round so far. So it'd be awesome to see him keep that going. That'd be fantastic. JP Wiggins, one thing YouTubers taught me over the years is the overwhelming amount of stupid people in the world. That's harsh. That is harsh, but no comment. Kubitzer is the best, says Gumiok. I'll butcher your names, by the way. There's no disrespect meant at all. People asking for a link in chat. I'm sure the mods will find you one. Usually Darth pops up just as the race is about to get going and slips one in, so that could have been worded better. But anyway. Watching F1 on TV and football on my PC sounds like a plan to me. Let's do this and hope for something good. Who are you rooting for, Max? You're a United fan, aren't you? I might be wrong. I'm sure I've seen you on the United stand Watchalongs. They don't have footage either, by the way. I've seen you on there, so I don't know if you're a United fan or whether you're just there to keep an eye on it. But going to be interesting one, City, Liverpool today. I'll get my football thing out of the way straight away before anybody asks. I don't care who wins it. I'm a Manchester United fan and I'd rather neither did. So it's a horrible day for me. So hopefully we get a good race so I can at least smile about that, whichever way it goes this afternoon. Where's the best place to watch F1, says Gamer. In the UK, the only place to watch F1 away from highlights is Sky. Otherwise, I think most territories now have got F1 TV that haven't got an exclusive deal, so... Oh, Max is a Chelsea fan. Ooh, painful. Sorry, mate. Apologies. But yes, we are 5 minutes away. The music has started, so I'll pop my headphones in my ears now so I can listen to what Croft is rabbiting on about and relay some of that to you. I'm sure he's talking some absolutely brilliant stuff because, you know... a couple of people in chat keep saying, get your beds ready. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Flashback to Sean in an hour's time and he's fallen asleep live on stream, but we'll see. We'll see. It could be okay. It could be all right. I'm going to turn Croft up as well so I can hear him, so I can make sure I relay as much information to you as I can. I listen more for Martin Brundle. What's your favourite track, says JD. My favourite track is probably Sao Paulo, Spa or Canada. It's between them three. I do like Suzuka as well. I think my favourite race is probably Sao Paulo, Brazil, but I'd probably go with... Spa as my favourite track. Ian McKinnon, Murray Squawker. Yes, I know. I'll do my best. And British PKMN1991 or 1991 says, Sean, it's Eurovision next Saturday. Eurovision starts Tuesday, mate, for the semi-finals. Just saying. Make sure you tune in for them. But yes, I do enjoy a bit of Eurovision. With the talk of Williams not wanting to become a B team, let's say they accept their role as the B team to Mercedes, where would they be finishing this season? Probably somewhere around Racing Point. I think they'd be in that midfield, definitely. But some interesting stuff floating around. I'm not going to get too into this because I'm going to go over to the watch on screen in a minute. But very quickly, I do want to mention this. Talk that Nicholas Latifi could be in for Kubica if he can get the backing. I don't believe that's going to happen anytime soon. It might happen mid-season or something, or at the end of the year for 2020, but I don't think it's going to happen at the moment. And also talk, because of Toto Wolff's comments, people, of course, Toto Wolff saying about Sebastian Vettel maybe racing for Mercedes one day and Hamilton maybe racing for Ferrari. Of course, then all the clickbaity news sites have taken that and gone, oh, that means it's all going to change. Nah. I think that is just all rumour. Just fly through the grid for those that are just tuning in, by the way. Bottas and Hamilton on the front row. Vettel third, Verstappen fourth, Leclerc in fifth and Gasly in sixth. So Ferrari, Red Bull could be interesting. The two Haas boys, 17th and 18th. Kvyat 9th and Norris in 10th place. Obviously, Daniel Ricciardo taking his grid penalty, so he's dropped, which promotes Albon to 11th and Sainz to 12th. Daniel Ricciardo will be starting in 13th with Kimi Raikkonen 14th, and then behind them two, quite an experienced row, that one actually. Behind them two, it's the two Racing Points. Oh, that could get tasty in turn one. Perez 15th and Lance Stroll in 16th. Kubica not on the back row. He will start 17th with Giovinazzi 18th. Whatever. And Russell 19th with Nico Hülkenberg starting from the pit lane. Yes, here we go. If anyone's got a link, by the way, I think there have been some sharing. If anyone's got a link, do share it in the chat mods for those who want to watch it. I'm not able to, I haven't got one actually. I need to get one really, just to pop it in the description for the races, but hopefully everything will go well today. Hopefully. We have got new graphics which I'll head over to, and we think everything's okay. We tested them the other day, so yes. Oh, lots of we want some action, we want some drama today. It's been we expected Baku to be epic. It wasn't epic, but it was okay. China was alright, meh. Bahrain was brilliant. Australia was Australia. So, maybe Spain will spring a surprise. It's a mouthful. Spain will spring a surprise. Maybe. Or we're just going to see Mercedes disappear with this once again. We are a minute away from heading off on the formation lap. So, yes. Oh, could be good, this. Could be very, very tasty. I'll try and keep an eye as well on social media as the race goes on, hopefully. If you scroll up those that are asking for a link, I think Darth has just... Yeah, I think Darth has just shared a link, so just scroll up in the chat and there should be one there. And in fact, shared another one now. Afternoon, Darth, or is it afternoon? Morning where you are, is it? Am I wrong? Night? Some time of the day, possibly. And self-proclaimed chief moderator, Jack, still telling people about what the watch-along is. Good to see. Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly, Grosjean, Magnussen, Kvyat, Norris, Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Perez, Stroll, Kubica, Gio, Russell, Hülkenberg, pit lane are your grid. Says Sayers Gaming. Why not, eh? Why not? Do you watch the United stand at the F1 word? Yes, I do. Can you tell? It's my inspiration. Lewis Hamilton slow way on the formation that there. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say that I sort of look at other things, and I thought maybe watch-alongs could work for F1, and then they do. A lot of you enjoy them, but a lot of people also hate them because they think I'm just going to be streaming footage. But yeah, they're just showing the pit stops now. Predicted from F1 Insights is lap 16 to 24 on a one-stopper. So soft to hard. Oh, that'll be boring. Two-stop is medium soft and then soft again. So yes, we're going to head over to the race watch-along screen. Fingers crossed this is working, but live timing is still provided by Planet F1. It is their data, so thank you very much to those guys for allowing us to use it. However, my mate, Francois at cooltiming.com has been working on some new visuals which look absolutely awesome. We're hoping everything goes well. If there is an issue with this, because it is the first time we're running it live, I have still got the other live timing screen ready for Planet F1, so we'll go back to the old timings as we do for qualifying and the race. Thank you very much for that subscription. Missed your name, so massive apologies. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and drop a like on the video. And this is the first time this has been run anywhere, so we thought, why not call it world premiere, just get people excited. But yes, this is going to be the first time it's run. It's completely different to the visuals usually, so hopefully you should see there'll be a lap counter on there. There will be the delta between each driver, and there will also be pit stop return positions and projected tyre life. Now, the projected tyre life that's going to be on there is going to be based on what Pirelli said at the start of the weekend, so how many we expect them to be able to go. It won't actually show what life they have in the tyres because we don't know. The team's the only ones with that data, so yes, we are on the formation. They are coming round onto the grid. Fingers crossed everything's going to work. I will keep an eye on this live timing, of course, and if we need to switch over, I will. It's going to be interesting. So Bottas, Martin Brundle just saying there, Bottas saying he will not yield, and Hamilton saying he won't be too kind or as kind into turn one. This could be interesting. Bottas a few burnouts on his way to the grid. That little lull. I've started talking like I'm a snooker commentator now. Can he pot the black? He's just rolling up to the grid now. Valtteri Bottas. He's got Hamilton in second, Vettel of course in third, and Verstappen in fourth with Leclerc fifth and Gasly sixth. That's going to get tasty into turn one. That could get very tasty. It's quite a long run. Mercedes on the website say 700 odd metres, but the Sky graphics and whatnot all weekend have said 500 odd metres, so I don't know which it is, but it's a long way. It's a long way. Longest run of the season, I think, to turn one. It's that or Bahrain, but I think it is. Longest run to turn one of the season. Oh, here we go then. So Russell coming to line up on the back of the grid. Here we go. The lights are coming on. Oh, 3 lights, 4 and 5. Here we go. Valtteri Bottas gets a good start, but not as good as Lewis Hamilton, who's got right alongside him, but they are side by side on the run down to turn one. Bottas comes across to cover. Sebastian Vettel on the outside of both the Mercedes with a storming start. Is he going to go down the outside? He locks up massively into turn one. He'll have to return to the left of the bollard, I think, off track. Charles Leclerc up to fourth. Vettel runs him out of road. Verstappen trying to get around. I thought Vettel was going to take the lead. Can Verstappen get around that Ferrari? And Leclerc and Gasly are side by side. Leclerc forcing Gasly wide. Whoa, dramatic start. A lot happening in the midfield as well. Just going through, but Sebastian Vettel looked like he got that one. I can't show you the race, Ryan. It's copyright, mate. I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to, but until I've got a couple of billion in my pocket to buy the rights, I can't. But I thought Vettel had got that into turn one. He was round the outside, locked up, straight on. Will he need to... Could there be a penalty? But Verstappen's up to third, by the way. Verstappen is up to third place. Or at least appears to be. Yes, he is. Up to third place. Great start. So Vettel complaining of a flat spot on his team radio. So yeah, Verstappen up to third. The timing just updating there on the official one just took a minute, but Vettel is up to third, down to fourth. I thought you had to rejoin to the left of the bollard. I will say, because I'm in one of those moods today, if you're going to hurl abuse at me in the chat, you can just get lost. It's as simple as that. I'm really not bothered. But yeah, I'm going to go to the live timing over on the other watch on screen for a moment, but everything seems to be failing over at Planet F1 again, which is really blipping annoying. I think that's what, there we go. I think we're away. So bear with me on that one. I'll try and make sure the other one's working, but we'll stick with this one for now. Like I said, the other ones might have some teething problems today because it's a new system, so bear with us on that. But that is your... Oh, there's a lap counter on there as well. I didn't even know that. There we go. Go to that one for now. We'll go to that one for now. And I think we're working now, said that. So, there we go. There's your new one. Much better. Much better. Looks nice and sharp. So that's your running order at the minute. Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, Leclerc, Gasly, Grosjean, Magnussen, Kvyat, Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Norris, Hulkenberg, Kubica, Russell, and Raikkonen. Yes, cracking start for Verstappen up to third. Just waiting for a replay so I can kind of talk through what happened because I got a bit excited with seeing Vettel lock up and what was going on. So, cross the line he goes. So Hamilton does lead and Bottas sets the fastest lap, so he's not going to be giving up on that one, closing the gap down. I will say as well on live timing, if you're new, don't forget that there is a delay between what I see and what you see and all that kind of thing. So there is a slight delay. So when the official live timing updates, it's about 30 seconds later that the Planet F1 one updates. So this will be a second behind now. It's about 31 or 32 seconds. So it's live, but not completely live. People asking about Raikkonen. I'm waiting for a proper replay of the start. I'd love to see what happened to Kimi because he's down to 20th at the moment. But it was a really good start from Sebastian Vettel. Got alongside the two Mercedes into turn one, who was side by side, really tight. And then Vettel's just gone really late on the brakes, locked up big time, and gone more or less straight on, sort of onto the runoff area, and then lost out to Verstappen through 3 and 4. It looked like. So just waiting for a proper replay. Nitro's off to bed, given up already. But yes, you can see the running order on your screen there. It should be much clearer on mobile as well, so all should be good. But Bottas currently holds that fastest lap on I didn't see the lap time, but it's a 1:23.021. So he's out there on it. 1.8 seconds though the gap to Hamilton. Not ideal for him. But Hamilton now sets the fastest lap, and that's toppled by Bottas. So, yes, those two are really trading blows at the moment. Verstappen's lap time's not too bad. 23.3, 3/10 off, so not as bad as I thought for Red Bull. But I think Mercedes are probably, mechanical issues and safety cars and whatnot aside, going to disappear. And as expected, we are now starting to see a bit of field spread. You can see it there on the timing, actually, the graphic, that we've got a bit of a spread there. Here is a replay of the start. Awesome stuff, Sky. Thank you very much. Great start for Hamilton. Something he's really struggled with at times this year, but he's got alongside Bottas on the run down to turn one. They're going to do it from the area. It was a really good run. Really good start. Alongside Bottas, gets a good second phase to spot, comes across to put a little bit of a squeeze on Hamilton. Not much, just enough. Hamilton's still behind at this point. And then Vettel actually is leading before the braking zone at turn one, only by half a front wing, if that. And then he's locked up and gone onto the runoff area. That's allowed Leclerc a run, and Vettel's running him out of room there. And then Verstappen's got round Leclerc. Gasly has a look as well, but then he gets run out of room. On board of Verstappen, this will be a good view. Looking very good. So, yeah, Verstappen having a run, keeping an eye on it. So, So Vettel was just in front, but it's a big lock-up on that right front. He's going to struggle with that. Oh, big slap of oversteer on Bottas as well. Really snaking through there. And then Verstappen just flies around the outside of turn 3 through past both Ferraris. Cracking start for him. Is this the onboard with Kimi Raikkonen? So Kimi goes down the outside and Kimi runs off. Oh, yeah. He gets it all wrong at turn 4. A lot of oversteer. And then ends up in the gravel. But he is still running. He is still running, and already ahead of George Russell as well. You can see as well, I forgot to mention that, DRS. Oh, Bottas really squeezed between Hamilton and Vettel there. No wonder he got a bit of a slapper on coming through there. Cracking start. But it's all settling down now. But you can see there the DRS on the graphics. Russell falling away now at the back. But yes, 1:22.782, the fastest lap from Lewis Hamilton on that lap. That is worth a point, of course. Grosjean and Magnussen's lap times, 24.3, 24.4. They're kind of hanging on to the top 6, but not all that close. So 1.2 between the two Ferraris at the moment. Leclerc, a couple of tenths quicker on the last lap than Sebastian Vettel. So that flat spot obviously not causing him too many problems. I think Karun Chandler there was talking about the team saying everything should be okay. But it was a big lock-up into turn one. And I think we're going to see a lot here. I think we're going to see Leclerc right on the back of Vettel, and Bottas now fastest lap, 22.676. So a couple of 100s quicker than Lewis Hamilton. Martin Brundle making a good point there. They're not really... Verstappen's kind of hanging on. He's only 1.4 behind Bottas, 3.5 off the lead. So as I said earlier, the race pace is pretty solid for Red Bull at the moment. On board, the front wing camera of Daniel Ricciardo in the DRS, I believe. Yes, he is. Has a little look, but he's not going to get through there. Quite a way back. He's going to sweep through 1 and 2 and maybe get a run through 3, but that would be a real ask for him. He's still quite a way back on Sainz. Yeah. Yes, the graphics are showing assumed tyre wear. They're based off of the Pirelli projections before the weekend and after practice. Unfortunately, we can't. I'd love the data from the teams, but I don't think they'd ever send it my way. So yeah, it's just a projected one. So yeah, team radio Sainz. Sainz saying he's got no pace at the moment and doesn't know why. I hope that's not a mechanical issue. What was his last lap time? A 24.8, Ricciardo a 24.5, and Albon a 25.0. So he's not awful. He's not awful at the moment. Hamilton fastest again, 22.3. Couple of tenths quicker than Bottas on that lap. Yeah, Verstappen. Do you know what? Verstappen, 22.8. 3 tenths slower than Bottas. Half a second off Hamilton. I know half a second in F1 is a lot of time, but that's not awful. That is not awful at all. Gasly, 23.4. What's that? 6 tenths slower than his teammate. Not great from him at the moment, but Leclerc is sort of on the move. He's catching his teammate, and into the pits comes Antonio Giovinazzi. They're going to put the hard tyres on. They should. I'd imagine they'll run to the end of the race, to be honest. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Seems like a long way to go. Lap 7 of 66 to put those tyres on. But yes. We'll see. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on Gio. I'll keep an eye on his lap times to see where he ends up and what he's doing. But in terms of start tyres, by the way, everyone on softs except for Stroll in 14th on mediums. Hülkenberg, Raikkonen, Kubica and Russell are all on mediums as well. And then Giovinazzi has just gone to the hard tyres. I think he was on soft as well. So, yes, Hülkenberg did start from the pit lane and already up to 16th place, past Raikkonen, obviously in the gravel at turn 4, but managed to get going again. The two Williamses and, of course, Giovinazzi has pitted. So, making his way through slowly. Ricciardo's gained 1 place. Charles Leclerc is on the back of his teammate as Hamilton goes faster again at 122.2. Don't want to jinx Mercedes, but I think we can start to focus on what's going on behind a little bit now. Vettel, only 3, 4, 5 tenths up the road from Leclerc, so I wonder if Ferrari might. Is that flat spot maybe hampering him a bit for pace, or is Leclerc just quicker? Leclerc just could just be quicker. I wonder if they might call team orders, or do they only do team orders the other way? I don't know. Sam R says, please jinx Mercedes. No. I do like to jinx things. So Ferrari apparently giving a hurry up to Vettel. Leclerc is on him. He's in the DRS. It's going to be interesting down this straight. But at the moment, Vettel matching Verstappen's pace, but not catching him, really. 2.7 seconds back. Was not expecting that. I thought even if Verstappen had got through, I fully expected Ferrari to be right on his rear wing, but that's not the case at the moment, and there is quite a bit of field spread at the moment. We've got Leclerc on the back of Vettel. In the DRS, he's a second behind, so we'll see if he can get anything done down the straight. I don't think he's close enough at the moment. Grosjean and Magnussen separated by quite a margin as well. They're quite comfortable at the moment between them. Yeah, typical Spanish Grand Prix field spread. It's going to need some drama and a... it's going to need some drama and a safety car, I think, to bunch up that pack anymore, but we'll keep an eye on this. And Russell Yeah, Russell, Kubica, 26 flat for both of them. So they're kind of matching each other. In fact, they're 3 thousandths between them. So they're kind of matching each other's pace at the moment. So Williams obviously cut adrift from everybody else, but an interesting battle there to keep an eye on between the two teammates. Can Kubica stop Russell's run of beating him in races? We've still got Hamilton leading from Bottas, 2.6 seconds. Verstappen is third, 2.7 seconds. Further back, Vettel 2.9 seconds further back. Leclerc is 8/10 further back on Vettel, so still in that DRS. Gasly falling away 3.3. And then it's Grosjean and Magnussen, obviously well gone already, 5.5 and 3.6 back. So 21 seconds off the lead now, Magnussen, after what, 9 laps? Kind of says it all, doesn't it? Kvyat in 9th, Albon in 10th. So good start for Albon to get ahead of Norris. Sainz 11th, Ricciardo 12th. 13th for Perez, 14th for Stroll, 15th for Norris, 16th for Hulkenberg, 17th for Raikkonen, 18th for Kubica, 19th for Russell, and 20th Giovinazzi. What happened to Norris off the line? Oh, and here goes Leclerc. Is he going to have a look at Sebastian Vettel into turn 1? He has a cheeky look under DRS, but he's not going to get through. And his teammate doesn't look like he's going to yield at the moment, but he's definitely slower at the moment. Sebastian Vettel and Leclerc is being held up. So will Ferrari switch them around, or is it going to have to be a straight race? I agree. I'd have to agree with Martin Brundle there in commentary, just saying that this is a waste of time. It's nonsense, these two fighting. They're costing each other time. Let Leclerc go, see what he can do. If he can't get past Verstappen, swap him over later. I agree with that. I think that makes sense from a team perspective, but we'll see. Hamilton fastest lap on that last lap as well, by the way, 21.9. So he's still got that point as it stands, which would, as it stands again, give him a 7-point World Championship lead if he wins the race as things are. But long way to go. Still 56 laps to go, but it's so far, as we all kind of predicted, classic Spain, really. But hopefully things will pick up. Just going to wait and see now as Leclerc comes to his final corner. Will he have another go at his teammate? I feel like this is, like I say, I agree with Martin Brundle. This seems silly from Ferrari. Don't think he's close enough on this occasion. He's gaining and gaining, but under braking, Vettel is comfortable. Looking here at Max Verstappen, he's falling back a little bit now from Mercedes, but he's only 3.2 off Bottas and 6.4 off the lead, so his pace is solid. In fact, actually, last lap, Bottas 22.2, Verstappen 22.5, so he could be the one to keep an eye on here. I'm not expecting him to wide out there on these at 7, but I'm not expecting him to win this unless something happens to Mercedes, but he might just be able to give them something to think about with an undercut a little bit later in the race. He's on those soft tyres, so yes. Who would you rather, chat, win a title, Ricciardo or Bottas, says Killhouse 12XL. So yeah, chat, who would you rather, Ricciardo or Bottas to win a World Championship? I quite like to see Bottas do it. Not brilliant last year, second half of the season, so I think this would be a perfect way to bounce back from that. It would be kind of cool to see Bottas doing that. Just watching this now, Leclerc having another look. He's got the DRS, and Vettel's letting him go. Vettel lets him go. Sensible move from Ferrari, sensible move from Vettel. And now we'll see what Charles Leclerc can do. Can he catch Verstappen? So Leclerc already purple in that first sector, 22.7, and fairly comfortably 6/10 quicker than Verstappen on that lap. So Leclerc might be on for a podium. That could prove. We might look back to that. Remember lap 12? We might look back to that as quite an important moment in this race. Vettel wants to get off the tyres. Apparently he's been on team radio saying that he wants to get off them. Just checking a few things. See who's gained what positions over on Planet F1. So Lewis Hamilton obviously at 1. Max Verstappen at 1 and Leclerc at 1. Vettel down 2. Biggest mover Hulkenberg up 5. Lando Norris down 6. What happened to Norris at the start? Is there anybody in there in chat might know what happened to Lando Norris? He's not pitted, But he seems to have dropped quite quickly through the field all of a sudden. So yeah, interesting. So Vettel wants to pit. Wants to get rid of those tyres. 22.1 from Leclerc, so 4 tenths quicker than Verstappen at the moment. Oh, he forgot his milk. Says invasion. I'll keep an eye on. I'll keep an eye out for a replay to see what happens in Norris. Maybe just it could probably just a poor start. Probably nothing overly dramatic, but I wonder if he'd run wide or anything like that. At the moment, we're watching Daniel Ricciardo squabbling with Carlos Sainz. But at the moment, I'm just looking for battles in that midfield away from there. Norris got squeezed, apparently. That would be a... Yeah, but I'm just looking for battles in that midfield. Grosjean and Magnussen look like they're fairly comfortable at the moment. Look, Fiat's only 1.3 behind Magnussen and a couple of tenths quicker on that lap. Hamilton going faster again, by the way, 21.9. 22 flat for Bottas, so it looks like Hamilton's in control at the moment. I'm trying to keep an eye on Ricciardo and Sainz while I look through this midfield for battles. Hülkenberg is on the back of Lance Stroll at the moment. We know Ricciardo's on the back of Sainz. Norris 1.2 off Hülkenberg. And then Raikkonen 1.4 off Norris, so a good second between most of the field. Norris poor off the line, got swamped and squeezed, apparently, according to Jack and some others as well, so thank you very much. So that would explain why he's down to 16th from 10th. I thought he was on for points today. It's going to be difficult to get back from there. It's Spain after all, not easy to overtake. Now I've got Renault Power versus Renault Power, McLaren versus Works Renault. Let's see, DRS for Daniel Ricciardo. Can he get past Carlos Sainz for 11th place? He's closing. I don't think he's going to. He's not close enough. Sainz goes defensive. Ricciardo has a look to the outside. But of course, Daniel Ricciardo not afraid to dive bomb, is he? But at the moment, looking very good for Toro Rosso. 9th for Kvyat and 10th for Albon. Double points finish. I was hoping Kvyat could get home in 9th. That'd be great for him. Perez and Stroll. Yeah, it's fairly quiet. It's fairly quiet. I'd love to sit here and make something up and get excited for you about what's going on, but it's, as I keep saying, it's what we're expecting. So Hamilton is 3.5 seconds up the road from his teammate. Verstappen now falling off a little bit, 4.8 off Bottas, who set the purple middle sector on that last lap. And yeah, 5 seconds now off, 8.4 off the lead. So he's kind of now, Verstappen's falling into this position now where he needs to keep this gap as small as he possibly can if he wants to go for the undercut on Bottas. Really needs to. But I think at the moment, Mercedes just controlling the pace. 1:18.7 was fastest lap last year. Was it 1:18.7? I will double check. No, 1:18.4, sorry. 1:18.4 was the fastest lap in the race last year, so we're still quite a way off that. Fuel to burn, of course. So just managing the pace at the moment. Ricciardo cannot get past Sainz. He's gaining and gaining on the straight under DRS, getting the gap down to about 3 tenths, and then can't make that final little push. So it's Renault versus Renault Power here. Is Gasly closing on Vettel? That is a very good question. No, they're kind of the same in terms of lap time. Vettel a 23.4 and Gasly a 23.5, but Vettel 5 tenths slower than his teammate on that lap. We're gonna watch a replay on tarmac here, or some asphalt. That's really interesting. Thanks, Guy. Oh, thanks, World Feed. That was great. Tell me why F1 is interesting still. Make another video. This is getting dull. I stand by what I said in that 7 reasons still to watch video. If Bottas keeps it up, we've got a cracking fight between them two for the title, even if they disappear. And then we've got Red Bull apparently able to mix it with Ferrari, which could get tasty as the season goes on. And that midfield is so ridiculously close. Anything can happen weekend to weekend. So, yeah. Sometimes, it's always been the way with Formula 1. Sometimes you have to look beyond the World Championship. But like I was saying yesterday, I understand that the big draw for fans is the World Championship fight. Of course it is. We want to see who's going to be champion. But when you've been watching for many years, you get to a point where you just sort of go, I'll watch the midfield instead. You sort of have to look beyond that. But yes, we are 35 minutes into this. No, we're not. We're coming to half an hour into this race. Not 35 minutes at all, quite a way to go yet. 16 laps we've had out of 66. Hamilton flying at the moment, 21.7, and purple again in the first sector. Bottas 0.3 slower on that lap again. Verstappen's falling away now, 6.3. So I think that undercut threat is starting to disappear. You will notice, by the way, on these new graphics we've got, on this new layout, live data still comes from Planet F1, of course, but it is cool timing that do the visuals. You can see a pit return bar running vertically. That is basically what it says after that driver pits. That is roughly where they will return in the race. So, yes, at the moment, Hamilton would drop behind Verstappen and Leclerc, but I think that will soon change. And maybe Vettel as well, but he's 19.6 off the lead now, Vettel, so... Vettel and his team still talk about changing tyres. There's a gap back to... What's the gap? He's 19 points, so 20 seconds off the lead. Ricciardo, 42, 43 seconds off the lead. So you might get out between Sainz and Ricciardo, maybe ahead of Sainz if he pitted now. Yeah. Little Miss No Name says, but it's never been this bad. As a season, yeah, I've witnessed things that are just at this level in terms of excitement, race to race. In terms of an era, I think it's the most dominant one we've seen in Formula One. People talk about Ferrari 2000 to 2004. They talk about Red Bull 2010 to 2013. But in those eras, 2001, 2002 and 2004, Ferrari were very dominant, but 2003 was one of the best seasons of the early 2000s, and they didn't dominate that, and Red Bull actually only dominated 2 years, 2011 and 2013, so I think this is the most dominant era we've seen in Formula One. Vettel constantly on the radio. Wants to be in for some new tyres. Yes, teams are planning to make up positions in the pit stops since overtaking is hard. That's always been the case with Spain. I'm gonna reminisce now while things are nice and quiet. Then I'll run through the order again for those that are listening. I go back to 1999. I think it was 99. Yes. Jacques Villeneuve got a cracking start in his BAR and managed to get himself ahead of the Ferraris. And even then, in what people call the glory years of Formula One, when the old days it was so much better with their rose-tinted spectacles on, Schumacher couldn't get past a BAR. No matter what he did, he could not get past, and it was the pit stops, and it was actually a sticky gurney flap, which sounds more painful than it actually is, on the rear wing that resulted in Villeneuve losing that place to Ferrari. So it's often in the pit stops in Spain, and always has been that way. Really, it's never really been a circuit we see a lot of overtaking. Really, turn 1 is your best overtaking spot, and turn 10, 2 corners. So, yeah, so that's a story from Grandad there for you all. So Hamilton leads 4 seconds up the road from Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen third, now falling back quite a bit. 7.8 off Bottas, 11 off the lead. Leclerc is 4.1 further back in 4th place and half a second quicker on that lap than Verstappen. So he's catching him a fair bit on that lap, but generally just bit by bit. I think we've got Kubica in the pits, or about to get ready for pits, maybe not. Leclerc, yeah, 3.8 back. Vettel 6.6 off his teammate now in 5th. Gasly 3.3 back in 6th place. Grosjean 7th, Magnussen 8th, Kvyat in 9th, Albon 10th. Sainz is 2.8 behind a point at the moment in 11th. Ricciardo just behind Sainz, a couple of seconds off in 12th. Perez 13th, Stroll 14th, Hülkenberg a second off Stroll in 15th. Norris down to 16th, 17th for Raikkonen, 18th for Russell, 19th for Kubica, and 20th for Giovinazzi. And we are 18 laps in, and Giovinazzi and Kubica have already been lapped. Giovinazzi, of course, has pitted and is the only driver to do so. Has put the hard tyres on. His lap times 27.0 are not good. That's better. 25.9 on that lap from Giovinazzi. That's quicker. He was a lot slower on that last lap. So 25.9, maybe leading to the leaders through. So he's the only driver slower at the moment than Giovinazzi are Russell and Kubica. So that, as things stand at the moment, that's not working for Giovinazzi, but he is going to go, in theory, to the end of the race. So, and Ferrari are ready with some medium tyres, and in comes Sebastian Vettel. So is that a 2 stop for Ferrari? Will the mediums go to the end? According to Pirelli, let's have a look. So 22 laps for the soft. So he's coming a couple of laps early. Oh, sticky left rear as well, it looked like. But yeah, Vettel, I think that's quite... Vettel might need to stop again. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. For a one-stopper, it was lap 27 to get rid of the softs and put the hards on for the rest of the race. So he's 7 laps earlier than that, and he's put the mediums on. So he might have to pit again and does get out in front of Carlos Sainz. So that could be quite important. So now we're going to see what he's got. People talk about Williams having a chance at a podium. Thank you very much, Giuliano, for your subscription. It was a sticky left rear by the look of it for Ferrari. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Lots of you watching as always, so thank you for coming along and joining me for this one. And don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to smash a like as well on the video. It really helps the channel out and only takes a second. Let's see how many we can get. I think we did quite well yesterday for likes, so it'd be good to do really well again today. Still love the shiny boots. I know it does nothing to actual tyres, just think it looks good. I agree. I like him, Jack. I do like him. Thank you very much, Royce. I'll read some out, but we've got Verstappen. Is that Verstappen in the pitch? Yes, it is. Verstappen in. So what do we got? Hamilton 21.5. He's disappearing at the moment. But in comes Verstappen. And on to... So Verstappen's 2 stopping because he's put a fresh set of softs on. He's put his fresh set of softs on now, Verstappen. So where is Vettel? I think, Verstappen easily ahead of Vettel, as kind of expected. Thank you very much, Robert. But yeah, there you go. Soft tyres for Verstappen, definitely 2 stoppers. It looks like we're getting a 2-stop race. Guarantee Mercedes will 1 stop. Having a look through the field at tyres and what's not. Yeah, Vettel went to medium, so it is soft for Verstappen. Going to see his pace now. What can he do? Can he threaten Mercedes? He was quite a way back, wasn't he? He was quite a way back. Says 2-stop is a mistake. Pirelli reckon it's the quickest, the 2-stopper. So up to which position will Mercedes lap? Says Mike. Last year they lapped everybody... I think there were only 5 on the lead lap last year. So, yeah. So, Leclerc is... They're just showing the graphic on screen at the moment. 12-15% of Leclerc getting ahead of Verstappen after he pits. That's not going to happen because Verstappen is going to come across the line in that final sector 27.9 compared to Leclerc's. So, Leclerc's last lap of 23 flat. So, we'll keep an eye on that. Kvyat in the pits. What's Danny Kvyat going to be? Can we go and have a look? Or is the midfield not something the director wants to pick up on? Obviously not. Answered the question there, nice and easy. Vettel, purple first sector, 22.666. Are we hoping that's not an omen? Kvyat is going to rejoin. Where's he going to rejoin? It looks like about 17th. We've got Charles Leclerc coming up behind Russell or Kubica to lap him by the look of it. At the moment, Hamilton will rejoin close to Leclerc. But he's gone. Hamilton's gone 7.5 seconds up the road from Bottas. Leclerc 10.9 seconds behind Bottas, 18 seconds off the lead. Oh, Jack. Okay. Average time loss is 22 seconds. Into the pits comes Pierre Gasly. What's he going to have? He's going to come out behind the Haas boys at the moment. Thank you very much, Brooklyn, for subscribing, mate. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the madhouse, I should probably say. It's not. It's a good community. They're a good bunch. I try to be. I still manage to upset everyone, but I try to be. Gasly going to come out about 9th place. Just going to get out ahead of Carlos Sainz. Is Sainz going to go into turn 1? No. I think Gasly's okay. It might take him a while to get his tyres up to temperature. Will Sainz have a go? It's the mediums for Gasly. It's a split strategy at the moment for Red Bull, but I still think that will be 2 stops for Gasly because he is pretty much on his own in 6th place. He is definitely cut adrift in 6th, so I fully expect that Pierre will be in with about 5 laps to go and deliver a fastest lap. Andras, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. He said we had infinitely more excitement in F2 this year. F2's been brilliant this year, and Latifi, what's going on there? He's kicked off perfectly this season, hasn't he? Been really, really good to watch. Absolutely brilliant to watch. Enjoyed it this morning as well. It wasn't the best race this morning, but it was still pretty decent. So, yeah. So one of these Mercs going to pit. I think they're going to go a very long way. And that's famous last words. I'll pit now. You watch. Leclerc 12.7 off Bottas, 20 seconds off the lead. So Hamilton's getting to a point now. He needs a couple of seconds and he'll be comfortably as the Haas pits in front of Vettel, which is Magnussen, but he looks like he's going to be comfortable. Will Ferrari run Leclerc long, do we reckon? They tried it, didn't they, last time? Got to say, even the midfield isn't that close this race. No, it's Spain. I keep saying it's Spain. It's a crap excuse. I know it's a rubbish excuse. And new fans to F1 aren't going to stay tuned in for stuff like this. I know Spain's a rubbish excuse. It's Spain is a really pants excuse, but it's what we get most years, just a really, really big field spread because the teams know the circuit too well. If we should... Here he goes. We shouldn't be racing at a circuit where winter testing takes place. If they want to winter test at Barcelona, it shouldn't be on the calendar. If they want to race at Barcelona, they shouldn't be winter testing there because they just know too much. And that's the problem. It's... Whoa! Cracking move from Daniel Kvyat round the outside of Kimi Raikkonen at turn 4. Fancy seeing that again. That's not something you see very often. They're talking about Alex Albon on Sky, but it's not. It's Daniel Kvyat. It's quite clear. The helmet gives it away, Crofty. Vettel fastest lap, 121.333. I want to see a replay of that. That was a cracking move. Absolutely cracking. Here we go. So he's just so much more grip on those fresher tyres right round the outside, and that's probably going to be move of the day. It might be enough for driver of the day as well for some people. Replay of Daniel Ricciardo having a go at Carlos Sainz into turn 1, and that move is going to get done, and then they're all going to pit by the look of it together, I think. Ricciardo, Sainz and Perez, yes, all in the pits together. So a race between the pit crews. Ricciardo finally getting past Sainz. And keeps that position, so it's still Ricciardo ahead of Sainz. It's nothing between them. Bit of a slapper on as he comes out the pits there. And through comes Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Or is that just Hamilton? It's just Hamilton lapping Carlos Sainz already. Yes. And he goes through there. So Vettel has got the fastest, Vettel has got the fastest lap, 121.3. Somebody asked about Leclerc. Leclerc is going to come in the pits, I think. He's coming in the pits. Yes, he is. And it is... He was 12.2 behind Bottas before the stop. They've gone hards. Oh, and it's a sticky left again on the Ferrari by the look of it. Sticky left. But yes, the hard tyres on Leclerc. They've gone... Yeah, he's going to the end on those easily. One stopper, soft to hard, was lap 27. So yeah, he's only a lap earlier. So he should get them to the end of the Grand Prix. And Leclerc gets out in front of his teammate, but behind Romain Grosjean, who is 25 laps better off than he was a year ago. That's interesting. So Leclerc should be running to the end of the race. Vettel, I'll go out on a limb and say I'm certain he will have to stop again. Gonna have to stop again. Just having a look here. Martin Brundle surprised to see the white tyre, the hard going on. I'm smart call. In comes Bottas. So what was Verstappen doing? 22 threes. It was 24 seconds, so Bottas should get out with a couple of seconds in hand over Verstappen. Everything nice and smooth down at Mercedes, unlike at Ferrari. DRS, by the way. Leclerc's got DRS and Grosjean, and Vettel's got it on Leclerc. Let's see. Mediums for Bottas, probably should get them to. I can't see them to. If Leclerc's one stopping, I can't see Mercedes going for 2. We'll see though. Grosjean in the pits as well. He's going to put some new tyres on, obviously. Laz the Wolf says, why do people complain about a winning team? They are the best. Deal with it. I don't like the... Toto Wolf said something earlier today, actually, didn't they? About... There's nothing Mercedes can do about dominating. And people are like, oh, you could slow down. Well, it's not up to them to slow down. It's up to Ferrari and Red Bull to take the fight to them. So, yeah. Alexander doesn't know why the hard tyre. I think they're just trying to pressure Mercedes a little bit, and Hamilton will be in the pits, I'd imagine. He is indeed. So I think they're just trying to pressure Mercedes, force them into a decision. They split the strategy as well for their drivers, which is probably a good move. But it's mediums for Vettel. I can't see him get to the end. Leclerc's out there, fastest middle sector, by the way. So he's got some speed on those hard tyres. I do like on these display graphics, by the way, the event pit, question mark. It is a pit stop, yes. So Vettel holds that point for fastest lap at the moment. Leclerc on the last lap, a 21.4 with a purple middle sector. Verstappen, 2.4 off Bottas. So he has closed in. He's on those soft tyres as well, remember. So don't forget, Verstappen will need to stop again. But he's currently slower than Leclerc and Vettel behind on harder tyres. Vettel on the medium and Leclerc on the hard. So that's your intrigue. Kimi, come on, Kimi, somebody said, chat. Kimi up to 11th place. He's on the mediums and has yet to stop. So Kimi running well on them, actually. What's that? Lap 28? They should go to lap 30, according to Pirelli. So if he can run those a few laps over, he might be able to fight for a point. What do we got here? Hulkenberg and Grosjean. Grosjean up the inside of Nico Hulkenberg, who he wiped out last year, of course, and keeps that position on the fresher tyres, and off he goes. What, has Hulkenberg pitted yet? No, he has not. Hulkenberg's 8th place, yet to stop, medium tyres as well. So, yeah, good look at them towards the end of the race. Raikkonen and Hulkenberg could be interesting. In fact, the Williams boys aside, they're the only two yet to stop. Jack wants to know the time loss of a pit stop in Spain. It's around 22 seconds. Around. Max Verstappen with wind issues. Wind increasing, apparently. Let's not go down that road again, Sean. Toilet humour is terrible. You're so British sometimes. It's ridiculous. Hamilton can do an easy 2 stop. Where are we? 8.8, the gap to Bottas. Thank you very much, Alex, for subbing. Just let me know there. And is that... yeah, I was going to say something. It's gone out of my head completely. Yeah, what do we think, chat? Do we think Mercedes will 2 stop, go into the mediums, or are they going to nurse them to the end of the race now? They've got the gap, haven't they? And they know that Verstappen's 2 stopping and Vettel is likely to be 2 stopping as well. So the only threat from behind is Leclerc, and he's not on their pace at all. Leclerc 23 flat, 22.1 for Hamilton, 21.5 for Bottas. So, yeah. I think... Well, Bottas going to do the fastest lap here, 120.8 as he goes across the line. I think Mercedes have pitted and put the mediums on just at a little awkward point where they could get them to the end. But they're sort of on the cusp. That's a good word, cusp of not quite getting them to the end, if that makes sense. So that's a... I'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the lap times. But Bottas flying 20.8. Yeah, 1.3, 1.4 quicker than Hamilton on that lap. Oh, a little puff of smoke out the back of the Ferrari there. It looked like maybe a lockup from Leclerc or some oil. But it looked like there was something, probably nothing. Or maybe the plank rubbing across the ground. But at the moment, Vettel is right behind Leclerc. So I wonder if they might swap them over here. Because Leclerc did a 22.2 and Vettel a 21.7. I think they're going to. I think they will swap the Ferraris. Thank you very much for subscribing. I think that's Michelle. I just caught your name there as you were fading away with the Gasly dance. Yeah, I think they might swap the Ferraris here. I'm just listening to Crofty at the minute. So he doesn't think... So not expecting Hamilton and Bottas to stop. Vettel likely to stop, and Verstappen obviously has to stop. So Leclerc is not stopping either. So at the moment, Charles Leclerc 10.4 off Verstappen. Max is going to have to get a move on here. Because, well, he's going to get close towards the end of the race, isn't he? But I'm not convinced, even though Honda have been really good this year compared to what many expected, I don't think in a straight line they're going to get past that Ferrari. Even with... God, I hate English accents. Don't listen to an English channel then, moron. Christ. People hurt my head. Sorry, just dealing with some live timing stuff there. Listening to Hamilton, asking for the gap back to his teammate. 8.5 seconds is the gap at the moment. So I'll run you through the order. May as well. It's on screen, as you can see, with the new graphics. But I'll run through anyway. Hamilton, 8.5 up the road from Bottas. Verstappen third, 4.7 further back. Leclerc fourth and Vettel in fifth. Only 6/10 between the Ferraris at the moment. Leclerc 10.4 off Verstappen. Gasly 14 seconds further back in 6th. Grosjean 7th. Hulkenberg 8th. Magnussen 9th. Kvyat 10th. Albon 11th. It is Carlos Sainz 12th. Ricciardo 13th. Perez 14th. Stroll 15th. Norris 16th. Raikkonen 17th. Giovinazzi 18th. Russell 19th. And Bobert Kubica down in 20th. I miss Ted. I like Karun Chandok. I'm in the minority, I know. I like Karun Chandok. I think he's been a great addition to Sky, but I do miss Ted in the pit lane. Hulk hasn't stopped. No, he hasn't. You're right. So Vettel, they still not swapped the Ferraris over. They swapped them over earlier, of course, and Vettel's getting the run at Leclerc. Leclerc does go defensive, though, and Vettel has a look around the outside. Yeah. I'd have thought they'd have swapped these two over because they let Leclerc through early, didn't they? Vettel backed off and let him go into turn one because he was quicker. But at the moment, it's not so much, it's not so much the whole number one, number two driver argument, but it's the fact that from a team perspective, Vettel is going to have to stop again. Leclerc is on the harder and slower tyre, is currently slower than Vettel, and so really should be moving Leclerc out of the way for the strategy more than anything. Williams haven't pitted, you are correct. And Hulkenberg hasn't pitted, and Raikkonen has just pitted. So he's on the hards now, so he's going to the end, obviously, on those. It's a quiet one, isn't it? It's a quiet one. I can't sit here and defend it. It's not a great one. I didn't expect it to be. I said in my preview on Thursday, it's not one that I look forward to, Spain. So I wanted to do a full weekend of content to keep you guys company, and you can keep me company as well for this one. So yeah, not great. Not going to sit here and blow smoke up F1's backside and, I love it because I've been watching since 92, it's amazing, but it's not a good race, as expected. Intriguing. It is intriguing with what's going on strategy-wise, but people don't tune into F1 for intrigue, do they? That's the point. They're tuning for racing, and at the moment, Hamilton is gone, 8.3 up the road. The only intrigue is what's going to happen between Verstappen, Leclerc and Vettel. Gasly is 15 seconds behind Vettel and 10 seconds up the road from Grosjean. So he might not get fastest lap today, you know, because he's got to pull away from Grosjean a bit more to get that one to work. Wait till Monaco. Yeah. I said this, didn't I, after Baku? We needed Baku to be a really good race, a really exciting race, a thrilling race, because we had Spain and Monaco next. And Spain is Spain, and Monaco will either be massively processional or will be full of drama and all that. I was watching... I'll do a run through again in a bit, and I'll keep you updated with the race while I'm waffling on, by the way, but at no point commentating over nothing happening. So I'm watching the Monaco Grand Prix at the minute from 97. I'm watching it like 20-minute intervals because I've got other things to do in life, obviously. Life tends to take over. Just watching Vettel. Is he going to get through this time? Leclerc going to let him go? The answer is no, he is not. But yeah, I was watching that. Such a good race. Despite the fact that one driver dominated. Obviously, Williams cocked up their strategy massively at the start with Villeneuve and Frentzen. You got Schumacher 22 seconds up the road from Barrichello after 5, or not Barrichello, I think it was Fisichella after 5 or 6 laps. And then you've got Barrichello finishing second and just surprise podiums. I missed that. I think what I'm trying to say is I miss the fact that even when a driver dominates a race, there was action and excitement behind, and we're not getting that at the minute, except in the midfield. But even, as Jack pointed out, even this afternoon in this race, the midfield isn't all that close. So the one thing that tends to save Formula One isn't doing it today, which is it's frustrating as a fan. I'll always love Formula One. That'll never change. But yeah, I'm going back and watching lots of classic races to remind me of why I fell in love with it. Yes, zero stopper. Was it Mika Salo in the Tyrrell, 97? Didn't stop. I've not got to the very end, but I think he didn't pit with that. He went to the end of the race without pitting. I think it was Salo in the Tyrrell. That's totally off the top of my head. I might be wrong. I'm sure it was a Tyrrell. Vettel having a look at Leclerc again into turn 1. Leclerc still not moving over, so maybe team orders haven't been issued. Premier League's kicked off apparently, so I'd imagine viewing figures across Formula One have just gone through the floor in the UK. Thank you very much to the 2,300 of you that have tuned in. Massively appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and please do drop a like on the video. I know I keep saying it, but it really does help the channel out, as Ferrari do switch their drivers. Vettel goes ahead of Leclerc there through the exit of turn 4 on the run to turn 5. So they've swapped them over, nice and easy, and now we're going to see what pace Vettel has got. In terms of pace, I'll have a look through the field quickly. Bring back Pastor Maldonado. Hulkenberg is finally pitting by the look of it, so we'll see. Thank you very much, Corey, for subscribing. We'll look at the timing screen now, so if I miss any other subscribers, massive apologies, but I'm just going to try and find you some battles in the field to keep an eye on. K-Mag, 1.1 behind Kvyat, 8th and 9th, so that worked out on a little undercut there from Daniel Kvyat, didn't it? So how big was that move for him in the end, around the outside of Raikkonen? Saved him a lot of time there in the end. Albon, no, falling away. Sainz, nowhere. Ricardo, 1.6 behind Sainz. Stroll, 1.4 behind Perez. Yeah. Thank you for the subscription, Bruce. That was so hard not to do in the in the Finding Nemo Australian accent. I'm shocking. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, not huge battles going on through the field at the moment. It's Hamilton's gone, disappeared. Bottas holds the fastest lap at the moment. Verstappen only 3.9 behind Bottas, but will need to stop again. Leclerc staying with Vettel-ish. But lap time-wise, Hamilton 21.8, Bottas 22.0, Verstappen 21.7, so quicker than the leader, as is Vettel at the moment. 24.3 for Leclerc, but that did include letting his teammate through. Gasly 22.5. Grosjean 22.8, Kvyat 22.0, Magnussen 24.5, Albon 22.6. Even Martin Brundle, it sounds like, is looking through the timing screens trying to find battles on track. The director at the moment focusing on Lewis Hamilton lapping a racing point, which will be Lance Stroll. That's an overtake, sort of. Very exciting. And that is Kvyat going toe-to-toe with Magnussen. It was actually Kvyat passing Magnussen on track. So again, the director didn't pick up on that. We've just had to wait for a replay, so apologies. Magnussen wasn't chasing down Kvyat. Kvyat was overtaking Magnussen into turn 1. Good move. That Honda has some power in it. At the moment, championship as it stands, Hamilton 111 points, Bottas 106, Verstappen 66 in third. If you're new to F1 and you ever wanted a graphic to sum up how Formula 1 has been in 2019, that is that. Bottas 106 points, Verstappen in third, 66. It is the Mercedes show. But to be fair to me, even Mercedes are surprised, aren't they, by their dominance this year? They weren't expecting this at all. But all that matters, and I'm sure Autosport will tell you this as well, is that Ferrari won the Winter Testing Championship. I'm so glad I don't have a webcam. Because you'd have just seen such a really smirky, horrible, sarcastic face then. Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? Let's have a look at Twitter, see if anybody's chatting over there. You can follow me over on social media. The links are in the description at F1word. I like to keep an eye on Twitter way too much. I say it all the time. Looks like something's going on. Yeah. People just tweeting to tell me this is boring. Yeah, fair enough. Who do you think is going to win, says Ninja Z. Genuine question? I mean, clearly Kubica. No, Hamilton. Wex wants to know if the Winter Testing Championship is a thing. No, I'm just being sarcastic, mate. Sorry. I'm a sarcastic sod. I can't help it. I get it from my dad. Blame him. Yeah, everyone was banging on it after Winter Testing, including us. I think everybody fell for it about how Ferrari were the ones to beat, and Mercedes was like, oh, we've got no pace, and Red Bull were second fastest, and Mercedes were third fastest, and Ferrari have got this, and then it all fell apart. It all fell apart. As soon as we got to Australia, it was quite clear that was a load of nonsense. So I'm wondering, will Williams get any points this year? That's from Mike in chat. I hope so. Do you know, I hope we get one race, and I know you don't need chaos to make a great race, but I hope we get one race where we just get loads of retirements and Williams just get a 10th place. I don't care which driver. I don't want to see a team failing to score. Last year, every team and every driver scored. And this year, at the moment, it's looking like, I think every team except Williams has scored, so we just need them. Maybe a crazy Singapore. Exactly, McGaff. Maybe a crazy Singapore. That would be good. Yeah, what I'm going to do is, for this season, I'm going to come up with some kind of game or something, aren't I, for Chain Bear style quiz for when these race watch-alongs are on and we get races like this, so I can come up with something exciting to do. Start commentating over the football in a minute. Hamilton's still leading, 8.8 seconds clear of Bottas. That's kind of a static gap at the moment, so I think they're just managing the pace. Verstappen, 4.4. I tell you what, it's not a thrilling thing to talk about, but Mercedes haven't exactly dropped Verstappen in this second stint. I know he's on the soft tyres, but there is good pace in that Red Bull, and I think they're sitting pretty for Monaco. Vettel in fourth, 11.1 off Verstappen. Leclerc, 3.6 off his teammate, and his teammate's in the pits. Vettel's in the pits, Gasly 6th, Grosjean 7th, Kvyat 8th, Magnussen 9th, and Albon 10th. The excitement in my voice over a pit stop. What we're going to get from Sebastian Vettel, Jesus Christ. In he comes on lap 41 of 66. Don't forget there is a slight delay on the graphics on screen. But Vettel looked like a good stop. He's gone onto the medium tyres to the end of the race. He will come out. Gasly could be going to the end. He pitted shortly after Verstappen, and maybe not. And Gasly is just going to get ahead of Vettel. That could prove so costly. Because, of course, Leclerc is running to the end, so Vettel needs to get past him on the the end of this lap as quickly as possible. But yeah, we got through the top 10, didn't we? Albon in 10th, currently holding on to that one. I say currently holding on to that point. He is 10.3 seconds clear of Sainz, and Hamilton and Bottas have lapped up to and including Daniel Ricciardo in 12th place. So again, looking like a pointless afternoon for Renault. So damage was done yesterday for Hulkenberg, wasn't it? Really. Vettel purple in the middle sector as expected. Oh, there goes Vettel into turn 10. Down the inside, and he's got that one done. Will Gasly come back? He won't have the grip. No, on those new tyres now, Vettel. So already Vettel is passed through turn 10. So that one is done. He needed that one, and he's done it. Kvyat up to 8th at the moment. After Hulkenberg's pit stop. I was reading some people in chat. I'm not going to read them out, but if you ever hear me just chuckle randomly to myself, it's because I've read something amusing in chat that I'm not going to read out. But yes. Unless they widen Zandvoort, it'll be worse than Barcelona, says Forever Young. I'm concerned. I think we're replacing a racetrack where you can't overtake with a racetrack where it's going to be difficult to overtake. I think it's a very smart move, but yeah. Orange Army Mania is what they're cashing in on there. Nothing against Zandvoort. I'm sure it's got its positives as well as its negatives, but I feel like going to Zandvoort is more of a business call than a racing call. So what can Vettel do? He's got, where is he? 14.9. 14.7 now behind his teammate. So he's catching... So Verstappen's still got to stop, hasn't he? That's what I'm looking at here. Verstappen's still got to stop. So he's going to fall behind Leclerc. 15.8 seconds between them. He needs to keep pushing if he's going to do it. So Verstappen will pit to get rid of those softs and imagine go straight to the medium. So that's going to drop him behind Leclerc. He would, as it stands, come out ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So I wonder if... Red Bull might pull him in soon. Vettel's just absolutely flown. A 120 flat. We're still quite a way off last year's fastest lap for the race, which was an 18.4. But that is a very good lap from Vettel, and that's quite clear. He's coming. He's coming for Leclerc. I wonder if Red Bull might pull Verstappen in. He would drop behind Leclerc, but he's not quick enough at the minute to pull away anymore. And he's coming in. Verstappen is going to pit, and then he should come out... I think, because the gap would be, what is that, 16 and 12. So that's, yeah, he's going to come out in front of 27 seconds. Yeah, he's going to come out in front of between the two Ferraris. Oh. So Verstappen is going to have to pass Leclerc on track, but he's going to have the fresher tyres, the faster tyres as well, because Leclerc, of course, on the hards. So Verstappen, we might get some action here. Max Verstappen, as we had quite often towards the back end of last season, could be the one that saves this race towards the end and gives us some excitement. And he does come out ahead of Vettel quite comfortably, actually. But now it's what he can do. Can he catch Charles Leclerc? And more importantly, get past him, of course, like I've already said. It's Honda power versus Ferrari power and an aggressive Ferrari setup, which should be very good in a straight line. So, whoa. Let's see if Max Verstappen can make this interesting. Keep an eye on his lap times. Thanks for the updates on Chambers Cat, by the way, Jack. I'm sure people in chat are very happy about that. Super quickly fly through this then. So Hamilton leads 17.5. So Bottas just starting to catch him a little bit. Nothing spectacular. I think they're just managing pace now at top Mercedes. Leclerc in third. Verstappen in fourth. Just showing Hamilton's rear tyre. Is that pickup? He's got blisters on his right rear tyres. Hang on a minute. Just hold station. Hamilton 7.3 clear of Bottas. Leclerc in third, Verstappen fourth, Vettel fifth, Gasly sixth, Grosjean seventh, Kvyat eighth, Magnussen ninth, and Albon in 10th place. I think Hamilton might need to stop. 22 seconds Leclerc to Bottas. So Hamilton, if he pits, will come out ahead of Leclerc, behind his teammate, of course. Verstappen 4.2 behind Leclerc, 6.1 is Vettel behind Verstappen, Gasly 7.1 behind Vettel, and then Grosjean 9.3, 8.8, and all the way down through the field. Carlos Sainz 11th, Daniel Ricciardo 12th, Perez 13th, Stroll 14th, Norris 15th, Hülkenberg 16th, Kimi Raikkonen 17th. I don't think we're going to get points from him today. Giovinazzi 18th, and then it's, of course, Russell and Kubica 19th and 20th. So that lap, Bottas was 1.1 seconds quicker than his teammate. So they're, yeah. Anyway, Paul di Resta there just talking about the Mercedes situation. It looks like they might pit him and use that gap they've got. In fact, no, they're not. They're going to pit Bottas first. They're going to pit Bottas first. So they are two-stopping Mercedes. It's Bottas in first, Crofty. Check your timing screen, mate. In he comes. It's the soft tyre on Bottas as well. Well, that's that then. We've got yellow flags out there. But Bottas is... I'm just watching the official timing screens. It's slightly ahead of the TV coverage, but there is a yellow flag. Oh, we've got Norris off and there's somebody else in there as well. That is Lance Stroll by the look of it. We've got Stroll and Norris off and it's Stroll in the wall. Are we going to get a safety car? And there's gravel all over the track. That's going to be at least a virtual safety car. Damage to the McLaren. They've both stopped. We've got some action, people. 45 laps. And it is the full course safety car. And I think, that's Hamilton won the race. It is going to bunch the field up. It is going to bunch the field up, but that's an easy pit stop for him. Norris is out on team radio, he's saying. Safety car. And Kvyat, Magnussen, Albon, all in. Oh, safety car graphic as well. I didn't even know that was going to pop up there. Lovely. So what's happened? So Norris has a look down the outside of Stroll. Stroll's going to come across him. Oh, that's sloppy. Norris is on the... So Norris is trying to get through the inside of turn 2. Stroll just turns in. They bang wheels and Stroll is in the wall there. On board. I think Stroll was probably expecting Norris to get out of that, and he's not. Norris has kept his wheel in. They've made contact. It's at turn 2, and Stroll in the wall. So cheap pit stop for Hamilton. Loads of people pitting in that midfield as expected. So the graphics on screen are about to go a bit mental. Looks like Ferrari are going to pull Leclerc in as well. That could be a smart move. Norris looks sat on the side there, very disappointed. So Hamilton has pitted. Bottas pitted before the safety car. Leclerc has also pitted, so a cheap pit stop for him. Will he get out ahead of Verstappen? I don't think so. It was 2.2 seconds of gap, so there's no way that's happening. There's not that cheap. He'll fall behind Verstappen. In he comes. He'll fall behind his teammate as well. Raikkonen in. Pretty much everybody pitting at the moment. The only drivers not taking advantage of the safety car at the moment are Romain Grosjean, Carlos Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg, and I was going to say Lance Stroll and Lando Norris, but obviously they caused the safety car, so they're not going to be. Everybody pretty much taking advantage of this. I'll keep an eye out for Grosjean, who is now in the pit, so Grosjean's going to do so. Is Sainz going to pit as well? And Hülkenberg. Just keeping an eye on the timing screen. So Gasly and Grosjean both out. So Gasly's gone to the soft, so keep an eye on him here. But I don't think they get fastest lap because this will be a Mercedes thing, surely. Both on the soft tyres. Use soft tyres. Hamilton saying there's a lot of gravel there. Right on the back of the safety car through turn 10. Complaining the safety car's too slow. Same for everybody. Yeah, 4... This was used tyres, used soft tyres, so maybe something they scrubbed after qualifying, but... Trying to work out who's the winner here in terms of... Because Hülkenberg doesn't look like it... Well, Hülkenberg isn't going to pit under the safety car. And he's the only one. And he's up to 12th and ahead of his teammate. Hulkenberg could be interesting. We've got quite a while because they're going to have to clear up those 2 cars, get rid of the gravel, and obviously then the lap cars will have to overtake, which is the most... We understand, right, that they don't want laps cars between the leaders at the restarts, but it's such a ridiculous rule. It just wastes time. You're losing another lap or 2 of the Grand Prix because you're letting the lap cars overtake that are then just going to get lapped half a lap later. It's just screw it. I think, and this is a Martin Brundle idea, so don't shoot me for this one, but I think he's spot on with this. Instead of lap cars may overtake, just say lap cars now drop to the back of the pack because they're not going to get anywhere, are they? They're out of the way, and yeah, they lose another lap, but it's not like they're going to get that lap back. Yes. Having a look on board with Norris, this will be interesting. Into turn 1. So Norris was round the outside in turn 1, and then... I don't know. I'd probably... not every incident has to have somebody at fault. I would probably go with racing incident because Norris isn't exactly well alongside Sainz, but he is sort of there. Stroll has turned in expecting Norris to get out of it. I think Norris has probably expected more space and they've just come together, but maybe, with all due respect to him, perhaps experience on his side, Norris might have left that like next season, for example, after he's had a year. But I'm not, I'd say racing incident would be fair enough. I'm sure there'll be people that say it's all Stroll, but yeah. I'm going to go to Twitter in a minute and see what people are saying. Not much. Quiet over on Twitter. People are already tuning into the football now, aren't they? So, so Vettel was obviously told to stay out with an old radio message there, but the field is nicely bunched up. If you're just tuning in, we have a safety car because Russell and Stroll came together. No, they didn't. Norris and Stroll, for God's sake. Norris and Stroll came together through turn 1 and 2, and that's brought out the safety car. They're just clearing those now, getting rid of the gravel. And we've got a nice bunched up field, but Mercedes prior to this were gone. Absolutely gone. Listening to Croon Channel, they're talking about Toro Rosso. In their pit stop, they double stacked, but the tyres weren't ready for the first car. But Kvyat 9th and Albon 11th, so that has cost Toro Rosso a point there with Albon potentially. People asking about tyres. Let's see what tyres people are on. So Hamilton and Bottas are on softs. They are both used soft tyres though. Bottas and Verstappen, not Bottas and Verstappen, Verstappen and Vettel, sorry, are on mediums. It is both new mediums for them. Leclerc is on mediums. That will be new for him because they had the extra set, didn't they, Ferrari? Gasly's on soft. They are used softs. Grosjean on soft as well. He will be used softs too. Magnussen, new softs, I think, for K-Mag. Maybe not. No, used again. Kvyat, he has gone onto the medium tyres. Just trying to look through about 6 graphics here. They will have been new. Sainz, Carlos Sainz is on the softs. What's he got? His is new as well. Albon, medium. Hulkenberg, soft. Ricciardo, medium. Perez, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi on softs, and then the 2 Williamses on the mediums. Williamses? Plural for Williams is Williams I. Whatever. The 2 Williams boys are on tyres at the back of the grid. Well, this is Formula 1. We tend to get this in Spain, but what we do sometimes see, as you'll have seen in Baku, I know a completely different circuit, much tighter, and you can overtake around there, bizarrely, versus Spain, even though that's a street track and it isn't. With the field bunched up, we might see a bit of action now. And we might see a couple. We might see another safety car before the end of the race. You know what they're like when they all get together. They've not seen each other all race. Hamilton just been told to keep an eye on his rear brake temperatures. Fronts are warm, rears are quite cold, apparently. Let's have a look at chat, see what you guys are saying. Nicole wants to know if she watched the rest of this. It's up to you. You don't have to watch the race and keep me company if you want. Unless this all goes absolutely bananas from here on in. I think we're just going to be watching the Mercedes disappear up the road again. 6.2 seconds between the Mercs at the moment. Got some lap cars between them. No overtaking in Monaco. Well, Max Verstappen, lap cars are now overtaking. Max Verstappen did all right last year, didn't he? Coming back from the back of the grid, was it? Or the pit lane? Back of the grid at least. The plural of Williams is turtles, as in the two turtles bringing up the rear. Very good. Norris going to make another meme? He will do. There'll be something out there, won't there? You see the cars unlapping themselves now. Wait, now as they... So that's... what have we got? A lot of cars. 8 cars to overtake at the moment. So we're waiting for Raikkonen and Giovinazzi Co to go through and unlap themselves. Looks like the field is getting nicely bunched up. They seem to have all got through now. And the safety car will now do one more lap because we have to let the lap cars get away. Oh, dear. And then we'll see. See what we get now. Will Bottas be allowed to take the fight to Hamilton? Max Verstappen, what can he do? Will he have a go on those medium tyres into turn 1 to try and get past the Mercedes? Yeah, there's a few bits to watch here. I think Mercedes will probably disappear now, but safety car, I'd imagine, will be in very, very soon. Let the lap cars get away. I'm going to have a drink in a second before we get going, though, because it could get very, very tasty. No word yet on the safety car. We usually know quite soon in the lap in F2. Do we think Mercedes are going to disappear again, chat? Or do you think Verstappen might throw one up the inside of Bottas into turn 1? Maybe Vettel have a go as well. Try and split them. Or are we just expecting Mercedes to disappear? And I mean, obviously that Honda power versus Mercedes power. It's a big ask for Verstappen, isn't it? But he does like a dive bomb. It's something that he's done well in the past. He's got it wrong. Plenty of drivers have got him wrong before, but he's done it right in the past as well. Maybe take a bit of inspiration from his former teammate. All it'll take is putting his car in there and forcing Bottas to maybe lock up into a mistake. Nick reckons Bottas will dive bomb Lewis. We're going another lap by the look of it under the safety car. Or the lights off. Lights are off, I think. Hamilton backing them up. Might be wrong. He just looked to drop quite well for safety car there, but no, lights are not off. Lights are still on. It looks like we've got another one. Another lap under the safety car. Wait, this is why they need to get rid of this stupid lap cars rule. 15 laps to go in Spain in what has been, if you're just tuning in, a thrilling Grand Prix full of action and drama and so much overtaking, and it's been typical Spain. But we could get a tasty last 15 laps. Let's not forget China last year. It was pretty pants until the safety car came out. So, yes. Safety car is in this lap. I'm going to have a swig of me drink ready for this one for the last 15 laps. Thank you very much, Sanjay, for your subscription there. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. And do drop a like on the video. Massively appreciated. Helps the channel out loads. And it's just good to see. And, you know, only takes a second, so please do. You can also support the stream as well. I've not said that yet. Links in the description to PayPal and Streamlabs and all of that. If you want to support the stream, any donations that come in are going towards camera equipment for Silverstone and for the channel in general, so that I can start doing a bit more face cam, or doing some face cam on the channel would be mega. So yes, massively appreciated. Anything you want to do, no pressure though. Everything's still free here apart from those pesky adverts on YouTube. Got to pay the bills. So there we go. Lights are off. Hamilton will now back up the field. Just waiting now as Hamilton backs him up and just taking a breath, ready for this one. Are we going to see a move from Bottas? Can Verstappen get a good enough run down that straight? There'll be no DRS, of course, to get that Honda-powered Red Bull past the Mercedes. And don't forget as well, under the new 2019 rules, no overtaking until the start-finish line. So not the first safety car line as we've seen in the past, but the start-finish line. Hamilton has bolted. Here we go. Coming through that final corner. Oh, it's good to see the field bunched up, but it looks as though the Mercedes have got this one. Hamilton pretty much disappearing. Bottas fairly close, though. And I'll tell you what, Charles Leclerc is going to have to defend from Pierre Gasly, who's got a great restart. Alongside him, Vettel's going to have a look at Max Verstappen. Is Gasly going to make it stick down the outside of Charles Leclerc into turn one? No, he isn't. We've got the Haas boys side by side, and Grosjean's off the track in turn two. Must return to the left of that bollard and does, side by side with his teammate. Comes back on just ahead of Carlos Sainz, and that is Magnussen having to go at Gasly. K-Mag into turn 4, braking late. Can he get past the Red Bull? Oh, imagine Rich Energy's Twitter account right now. We've got Gasly on the inside into turn 5, though. Still side by side. Can Magnussen hang on? Gasly surely must run him out of road, and Gasly just keeps a position. Great racing between the two of them. But again, if you're just tuning in, that's the most drama we've had since the first lap, so I quite enjoyed that. Magnussen very nearly getting Gasly, and Gasly almost got Leclerc as well. Vettel did not get past Verstappen, and Verstappen was nowhere. Oh, we've got a Toro Rosso having a look up the inside there of Carlos Sainz. Nico Hülkenberg still ahead of his teammate. Field nicely bunched up, so maybe we'll get some good runs. But it was Gasly's got the two. Right, so we know Gasly's had to go at Leclerc and not made that stick. You've then got the two Haas of kind of... Oh, there is contact between Magnussen and Grosjean. Grosjean has to go off and return to the left of that bollard, and then Magnussen gets a little bit of oversteer on Gasly, a little bit of a snap through turn 3, which allows Magnussen to get the run to get alongside him and into turn 4, and he can't quite make it stick because Gasly comes back in turn 5. Great stuff early on, and Hamilton lays down a very early marker in this second phase of the race, if you like, with a 1:19.8, fastest lap of the race. Oh, well, there we go then. We've got some action. DRS is not enabled, but turn 2 incident involving cars 4 and Norris will be investigated after the race. And I'd imagine they might be looking at that one between... Yeah, just, sorry, trying to look at the timing a bit there. Keeping an eye on a couple of things. It's still quite tight. It's still quite bunched up in that midfield at the moment. But I wonder if they might look at the Haas incident after the race or during the race. I don't think there's much in that. There's a little bit of contact. So Hamilton's just absolutely disappearing. I think he's about to put in another... He is about to pretty much get towards last year's lap time. 1:18.4 as he goes across the line. And it is so it's a 1:18.492, and last year's fastest lap was a 1:18.441. So he's what, a few hundredths now off beating last year's fastest lap time. So Hamilton has gone again, 4.3 seconds clear of Bottas. Verstappen still third, only 9/10 up from Vettel. That's a scrap we need to be watching now, I think, over the next few races. DRS has been enabled as well. Leclerc 2.2 seconds behind Vettel. Gasly only 1.5 behind Leclerc. Magnussen only 1.2 behind Gasly. And Grosjean 7/10 behind his teammate. Grosjean might feel a bit grumpy after that one. Jack reckons we'll be looking at a new lap record. I think we will, because Ricciardo's the race lap record, isn't he, from last year? The F1 race lap record. 1:18.442, I think I said. Or 4:41, something like that. So maybe Bottas at the minute quicker, 22.3 in the first sector, cross the line, an 88, terrible lap, an 18.7 from Bottas, so his best lap of the race, 20.2 from Verstappen, his personal best as well. Vettel and Leclerc That's interesting. So Vettel 2/10 slower on that lap than Verstappen, who's now broken DRS. We've now got Grosjean's going to come back at Magnussen by the look of it. Magnussen goes defensive. Grosjean to the outside of turn 1. Not going to get through there. F1 vote for driver of the day is open. I don't know who's going to get this one. Possibly Verstappen. I think he's driven brilliantly today. No, not a lot to do in terms of what's been going on track, but he's quicker than the Ferraris at the minute in a car that is probably not as quick in terms of power. Doing a good job. 2.3 off the lead at the minute. Even before the safety car wasn't... I mean, he was not anywhere near the lead, but he wasn't a million miles away from the Mercedes. Yeah, he could be a shout. I have a feeling Hamilton might, though, as well. He's pretty much just disappeared and controlled the race. What have we got here? So, we're about to see, I think, the two Haas. Haas. We're about to see Magnussen and Grosjean in those Haas cars, about to go toe-to-toe down the straight. Once again, a little bit of twitch coming through that corner from Grosjean, but coming out the chicane, can he get a good run? Give Dan something to smile about later in the race reaction. There's not going to be a lot, but might be something. So what can he do? Coming down this straight then. DRS, he will have it. And he's catching. Magnussen will probably have to go defensive. He is going to go defensive. Grosjean to the outside. They're side by side again, the two Haas. And Grosjean again has to go off track. He'll need to return to the other side of the bollard and does. And once again, Magnussen running him out of road there. Good stuff. Sainz is now closing into Grosjean because he's been off track again. Have a look again. So he just flies around the outside. Doesn't quite get it done. And Magnussen, yeah, there's enough room there. Bit of a squeeze, but yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying this little scrap between the two Haas. And what's happening now is because they're squabbling, you've got Sainz, Kvyat, Albon, Ricciardo and Hulkenberg beginning to close in as well. Is that timing right? I thought Hulkenberg was ahead of Ricciardo. No, he isn't. Ricciardo is ahead of Hulkenberg. I've missed that, so apologies. Probably at the restart with everything else going on. Hamilton has the fastest lap so far, for those that are asking. Comfortably as well. It was a 1:18.4, wasn't it? So... here we go. Sainz is going to have a go at Grosjean here, and Sainz has gone for it down the inside, his hometown hero, and Grosjean again off at turn 1. Was the contact? Can Sainz get back at him? He'll get the run. He gets a better run, funnily enough, coming back on track on that side of the bollard from Grosjean, and Sainz isn't going to get through at that point. I want to see that again. That's it's good stuff now. We've got some action, finally. Took 45 laps or whatever. Fans excited to see Carlos Sainz in there. Has Grosjean just got dirty tyres, do we reckon? Or good. Yeah, Hulkenberg's on older tyres. Good shout from who missed that comment somewhere in chat talking about Hulkenberg's tyres are older, so that could be why. Here's Sainz on board, so it's down the inside. It looks like he's got him, and then they do bang wheels. Face of the tyre, no damage or anything done, but they do bang wheels into turn 1, and I wonder if that'll be a... I think the stewards will look at that. That's all good stuff. Wheel-to-wheel racing. It's what we want to see. Lando Norris in the garage. I see people are watching the football. Yeah. Oh, here goes Sainz again. You want to be keeping an eye on this. And Carlos Sainz is past Romain Grosjean before that braking zone. And, yeah... So Grosjean seems to be... I wonder if he has got some damage after going over those curbs. Maybe damaged his floor. Thank you very much. Better do super chats, actually, before we get round to the start-finish straight again. Thank you very much to... Where said Andras, thank you for yours, mate. Alan said earlier, Mercedes double DNF and Red Bull 1-2, that would be great. Sorry I didn't read that at the time, I didn't mean to. That's not aged well, mate, but thank you very well for your contribution. Really appreciate that. Still I Rise, Hammer Time, USA Gang Gang. Thank you for your contribution, mate. And Lord Peter, thank you as well to you, says, or Pidder, says, stop it, please. Don't wreck that weekend now. Absolutely. But it's good stuff. We're enjoying it. We've got some action finally. Purple first sector, by the way. Carlos Sainz, 22-3. That's DRS, that is. Ricardo on the back of Albon. Kvyat is catching Grosjean. Grosjean just seems to be... He's 7 tenths behind Sainz, but still only 4 at the road. This is going to be interesting. Ferrari power versus Honda power down the straight. Here comes Kvyat now. He's going to be closing. There is DRS for everybody, really, in that little group of cars. Is Kvyat going to have a go at Grosjean? Kvyat and Grosjean is turn 1 makes you cringe. No, he doesn't. He doesn't quite get through Grosjean, apparently with the DRS now. So I do not speak French, and I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. It'll be so offensive, it's ridiculous. No, I don't speak French. The closest I've got to speaking another language, well, 2. I can speak rubbish. I'm very good at that. I struggle with English, even though it's my language. If you listen to some people, and a little tiny bit of German, but that's it, really. Apart from the usual cliche lines that everybody knows from foreign languages, of course, or your language, whoever. But yeah. Hope you learned something there. That's very good stuff. It's why you subscribe to this channel. It's utter nonsense. Race Control are looking at the incident between Grosjean and Sainz. They've said it's noted. So probably no further action. I don't think that can't be a penalty. That's wheel-to-wheel racing. It's what we want to see. Enjoy the last laps of Spanish Grand Prix. Next year there will be no Spain. It depends who you listen to. Most people are saying it's pretty much gone, but apparently either the track owner or somebody to do with the track has said it's a 90% that it will be on the calendar next year. So we'll see. We'll see. I can't say I've missed it. And that is Daniel Kvyat past Romain Grosjean into turn 1. Before turn 1 even. I wonder if Grosjean has got a bit of damage, you know. He's losing pace so quickly, and Albon's going to get him as well. Will he ever go in turn 4? Be a brave move in there. Not expecting it. Ricardo having a look at Albon. This could be for a point. I think I'm just looking at Grosjean's lap time. So it was a 21.6 on the last lap. Replay now of Kvyat. There you go. Past you go. Wobbly right-hand mirror. So, yeah, that looks broken. Grosjean's still in DRS. You've got Albon in DRS behind him. But Kvyat, that cracking move around the outside of Raikkonen. Now he's got past Grosjean as well. Some great racing from him. He's matured. He had a year away, didn't he? A year away, and he's matured so much. He still has his moments, of course. And he still will, but every driver does. But I think he's been really good so far. He impressed me yesterday as well in qualifying, so... Got Albon closing in on Grosjean on the straight. I don't think he's going to get through that because Grosjean's still got the DRS from the car ahead, which frustratingly for Albon is his teammate Daniel Kvyat. So that's going to be irritating. It'll be great to see if Albon could get in the points, says VDB. That'd be good. Both Toro Rossos would be great, wouldn't it, to see them in the points? But I tell you what, Ricardo's still in this. He's 12th. He's right on the back of Albon. If anything goes wrong between him and Grosjean, he could be in for the championship points here. Albon at the moment not scoring any points. He'll be level on points with his teammate. 1 point would put him on to 4. I said points about 900 times in that sentence. That's wonderful stuff. But yeah, I'm really impressed with Toro Rosso start to the season and just in general. They've been good. Very good. Looks like Alex Albon's mum's a little bit nervous there. Hamilton 2.7 clear of Bottas. I'll run through the order in a moment. Just going to keep an eye on what happens down this straight. Don't forget, while we're waiting for that, we will be live around about an hour after the Grand Prix finishes, so probably around 5 o'clock UK time. I'll be live with Dan for some race reaction, which is pretty much going to be, well, that was rubbish for the first 85%, and then it got a bit interesting, but even then it was, yeah. I've just given the whole thing away. Don't bother tuning in. I've just told you what's going to happen. But yeah, we'll be live about an hour after the race with some race reaction. He did not get through, so let's run through the order for one of the final times. Don't need to do it quite so often, actually, with the new awesome graphics. So what we got, let's have a look then. So Hamilton still leading, 2.8 clear of teammate Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen in third, 3.4 further back. So again, not exactly being cut well adrift. Vettel 1.8 behind Verstappen, has got no answer for him at the moment. Charles Leclerc 3 seconds further back. Gasly in sixth, Magnussen in seventh. You've got Sainz in eighth and is literally matching Magnussen. Last lap, 21.356 for Magnussen and a 21.356 for Sainz. Kvyat is, again, around that same time in 9th. Grosjean in 10th is definitely a 10th slower on that lap. Albon trying to close in, but was also slower than Grosjean. Ricciardo's fighting hard. He's in 12th. Nico Hülkenberg, the only driver to one stop, is in 13th. Raikkonen 14th. Perez 15th. Giovinazzi 16th. And then you'll never guess who 17th and 18th are. It's George Russell and Robert Kubica. Thank you very much again to Lord Pinnett, who says, Grosjean, you fool. I'll word it that way. And Laz the Wolf says, come on, Haas, don't let me down. At least stay in the points. Thank you very much for your contributions. Massively appreciated. And that is now Grosjean having to fight off Albon, who got a good run into turn one. Managed to keep the position, though. I think Albon did just get through, but then Grosjean got it back. I tell you what, that Haas is really good through turn three. Albon needed to lift off a little bit. What was the last time there were 4 consecutive 1-2 finishes, says Mike. From the start of the season, it's never happened, and they're about to make it 5 by the look of it in a row. That's never happened in Formula 1 from the start of the season. I don't even think Ferrari in their periods of dominance managed to do it. 2 laps to go. I'll have a look at that and maybe see if I can remember to mention that in the race reaction, because I don't have time to do that now. I'm going to go on to the last couple of laps. My guess would be either maybe 2004, perhaps. Maybe. Hulkenberg's tyres are dead. He's been caught by Raikkonen marginally. As I say that, we actually go slightly quicker, but yeah, about right. One last shot, I think, for Albon, because he's not going to have the tyres. So he's going to have to go for it. Is he going to do it here? This is his chance. Albon into turn one. He goes late on the brakes. He's not going to get through there, though, unfortunately. He might get one more go. He should get one more go, of course. This is only the penultimate lap. I thought it was the last one. It's not. Penultimate lap. They're not a lap down, are they? So this is it. This is all for a point. You've got Grosjean, Albon, and Ricciardo separated by about 1.5 seconds, fighting for that final point. Can Grosjean hang on to that final point? He's not scored yet this season. He is yet to score. And he doesn't want to get into that zone where he was last year, of course, where he wasn't scoring. And it wasn't until Austria where he picked up his first points. Obviously, mechanical issues have cost him. And a number of other things. But it's not the same as last year for Grosjean. Grosjean, a lot of it was his mistakes. But this year it's been mechanical problems, the wheel nut again, or the wheel in Australia. So, yeah. It's not been his fault this year. Is Albon close enough? I tell you what, Kvyat might fancy a go at not Lance Stroll at all. Carlos Sainz is turn one, but a brave dive bomb from there. He's going to have a little look, but he's not going to get through, and Albon will need to make it now if he's going to do it. He's going to have a look up the inside of Grosjean, just sticks it on the inside, but Grosjean says, nah, mate, you're not coming through, and I think that is that. We are done, I think, more or less. Red Bull Sauber Petronas says 6-hour slow mode is breaking the rules. I'm only 30 second slow mode, I think. I don't think I've set it to 6 hours. I hope I haven't. I've seen a few comments pop up a few times. So Lewis Hamilton round the final corner. It's all over. He's over the line. It is victory for Lewis Hamilton. He goes back to the top of the Drivers' Championship. Valtteri Bottas is going to come across the line to complete a 5th consecutive Mercedes 1-2. brilliant drive from Max Verstappen to take third place. Sebastian Vettel will be very angry and disappointed with fourth. Charles Leclerc is going to come home in fifth place. Gasly in sixth. Magnussen should be through in seventh. I'll keep an eye on it, and he does go across the line in seventh. Just watching the live time, make sure people get across. Sainz is eighth. Kvyat ninth. Grosjean did hang on for that final point in 10th. Alex Albon just behind in 11th. Ricciardo 12th. Hulkenberg 13th. Raikkonen 14th. Perez 15th. Giovinazzi 16th. 17th for Russell. And 18th for Robert Kubica. Lewis Hamilton then wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Even with that late safety car, dare I say, that was comfortable. More than comfortable. 4.1 seconds up the road from his teammate in the end. Fastest lap as well. Third win in a row in Spain for him. First driver since Schumacher between 2001 and 2004, according to Crofty, to do that one. Yeah, British in chat are saying Dan will be okay. He'll be okay. It's a point. I think Grosjean could have had more today, but it is a point. Everyone's across the line. Race is complete. So only 2 retirements, Stroll and Norris, which gave us that late safety car, which at least gave us, I know people are going to moan and say, oh, it's not much, but at least it gave us some action towards the end of the Grand Prix for the last few laps. So team radio for Hamilton. Get in there, Lewis, obviously. It was a comfortable drive again, wasn't it? Even with Bottas in second place. I mean, never really got close after that start, did he? That was it. It was done. Max Verstappen wins driver of the day. Do you know what? Usually I laugh when Max Verstappen gets driver of the day because you know that it's a bit of a meme in the past, isn't it? But I think that's a good shout. I think he probably deserves driver of the day. I think Daniel Kvyat would be worth a shout in there as well. A couple of really good overtakes, or a really good overtake and a solid overtake under DRS, of course. But I think that's a good shout on Max. But Hamilton, it's difficult to look away from race winners sometimes because he did dominate. He was comfortable, controlled the race, but it's kind of what you expect from Lewis Hamilton, isn't it? So fastest lap as well. So that is the maximum 26 points, which will mean that's an 8-point gap. So he'll be 7 points clear in the Drivers' Championship, if I'm correct. He was a point behind Bottas, wasn't he? So 26, 8-point difference. Yeah, so it'd be 7 points in the lead. Is this the start of Lewis Hamilton's run? We've seen it so many times, haven't we? He enjoys Spain. Monaco's going to be interesting. Not expecting drama, excitement, and lots of overtaking because you don't tend to get it in Monaco. But Red Bull will be there. If nothing else, Max Verstappen third today, 3.6 seconds off the lead, has shown that where Red Bull should be strong, which is places like Monaco, they're in with a very good shot of a win. So I think Verstappen fans and Red Bull fans will be much happier in Monaco. I think Ferrari will be very, very concerned leaving Spain. I feel it's ridiculous saying this after 5 races, and it probably is, and maybe I'll get called out on it, but this weekend was a must win. If not must win, at least must challenge Mercedes for Ferrari, and they haven't. They didn't in qualifying. They haven't in the race, never got anywhere near them. I think this is Hamilton versus Bottas for the title. I think that is that now, and I'm gonna go out on a limb now as well. Constructors' Championship's done. I can't. They would have to implode to throw this away now, Mercedes. So I think what we're looking at now is Hamilton v Bottas for the title. So if you're a neutral, like me, fingers crossed Bottas can at least take the fight to Hamilton. So you've got some excitement at the sharp end of the grid for the rest of the field. But I think the story to watch now is Red Bull versus Ferrari, because Red Bull might be in with a shot here of second place in the Constructors if they keep this up. Particularly Max Verstappen, who I think has had one of his best starts of the season. Maybe not in points. I haven't got all the stats in front of me, but I think in terms of how he's driving, I think he's having one of his better starts of the season, if not his best. So, still plenty to look forward to. But in terms of the championships, it's looking like it's Mercedes versus Mercedes. And then in the Constructors, it's Mercedes versus themselves again, really. We'll see. It is only 5 races in. You never know in Formula One, even though we probably do. We can work it out. We're not going to lie about it. All right, but very quickly before I disappear to get ready for the race reaction, Quick run through the results. Hamilton the winner from Valtteri Bottas from Max Verstappen in third place. That is exactly the same podium as last year as well, just realised. Sebastian Vettel 4th with Charles Leclerc 5th, Pierre Gasly 6th, Kevin Magnussen 7th, Carlos Sainz in 8th, Daniel Kvyat, really good drive from him in 9th, 10th for Grosjean, 11th for Albon, 12th for Ricciardo, 13th for Hulkenberg, 14th for Raikkonen, 15th for Perez, Giovinazzi was 16th, Russell came home in 17th, Kubica was 18th, and then Lance Stroll and Lando Norris crashed together and are out of the race. That is it then for this one. I am going to be back in about an hour, like I say, with the race reaction stream. Just want to say massive thank you to Planet F1 as ever for providing the data for the live timing, and thank you to cooltiming.com as well for the awesome graphics. I think people in chat, let me know as well in the comments if you like them. I think people are much happier with these. I think easier to make out on a mobile screen more than anything, so people have enjoyed them. So thank you very much for that, mate. I'll talk to you, I'm sure, in the week. And we'll debrief about how it all went. But yeah, I'll be back in about an hour. You can follow me on social media in the meantime, though. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.